What up, everybody? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Check into the stream. Check into the stream if you haven't. How we doing, Danky? Had a good 420 before this one. I needed it. I needed it. Too much crap going on. Too much nonsense at all times from all fronts at this point. I've been touching a lot of grass. I've been playing a lot of outdoor activities, which I'm absolutely okay with. And kind of getting back to some other things that I have hobbies for, because I definitely need to maintain my mental health through all of this and through everything that's going on. And we still have, we still have some time before Donald Trump is out of office. Excuse me. We still have some time before Donald Trump is out of office. So, it's got to do what we got to do, right? So for me, it's softball, video games, not much else. I don't really do a whole lot else. I like to travel, maybe go up to the boundary waters before a foreign corporation comes to destroy it. Thanks, Republicans. So definitely going to try to get up to the boundary waters and experience that this summer. Again, I haven't been up there since I was a kid. I go up to Duluth often, but when it comes to the boundary waters, I haven't really been up there a whole lot. So I want to see that and see some other things. But I'm going to be spending a lot of time outside, especially at my aunt's house. She's got a beautiful house up north. I'm going to be going up there often. My grandpa called me. He's like, I'm going up to the lake. I'm like, oh, dang it. I want to go, but I got to get some work done too. I can't be up there all the time. And I want it to be a little warmer. Not really the warmest weather right now in Minnesota. It's May 7th, but we still have like spring, still winter hanging around weather. It's actually pretty wicked. Check into the stream. Let me know where you guys are watching from. Check into the stream. How we doing? Comment where you guys are watching from. Good to see you, Tyler. DK Art and Design. You canoed the boundary waters as a Boy Scout. We outfitted ourselves, which is a beautiful spot. I got out of the Scouts before I got to Boy Scout level. I think I was a Cub Scout, and that was it. Yep. Here in Jacksonville, Florida. What up, Spicy Ramen Company? Hello from Alberta, Portland. We got PDX tuned in. We got California. What up, Oregon? We also are live on Twitch, you guys. We got Twitch stream up. We got Facebook stream. How we doing? You'll think you don't think he's gonna make it to the end of the term, huh? What up, Kelly? Hello, everybody. You can't wait till Trump is out, huh? Yep. It'll be like temporary reprieve, I bet. But maybe. I'm telling you, I mean, this right wing fascism is like, has its tail tucked between its legs for sure. Doesn't mean they're going anywhere. Okay? Doesn't mean they're just like, okay, never mind. Actually, fascism, you're right. You're right. It doesn't work. Our bad. We fucked up. We're not doing that again. No, they're sending more ICE agents out. Not as many. Let me see. I think we got the ICE news. You got, or is it in Texas? I got update on Alligator Alcatraz, which is gonna get taken down now. But I did. Let me see. But we did. Yeah, surge that. Stopping. Here we go. So there's a new wave of ICE deployments coming in Quebec, more than 40 states. Doesn't seem like it. So now they're going to do, instead of sending thousands into one state or city, they're going to send way less into more states at the same time. Hundreds of new ICE officers are deploying across the United States as records show staffing changes. We got staffing changes. They're also threatening to flood New York City with ICE agents. Hundreds of new ICE enforcement officers and staff are being dispatched across the country to bolster immigration enforcement in cities like New York and Houston and tiny towns like Derby, Vermont, and Caribou, Maine. Federal purchasing records show. The purchasing records are for co-working style offices and desks. I had a good safety meeting before this one. However, they provide a rare but narrow behind-the-scenes glimpse and how the White House and Department of Homeland Security officials are preparing to ramp up immigration enforcement nationwide as billions of dollars flow into DHS and its agencies under last summer's federal spending plan. Thank you, both parties, for approving that. Because yes, Democrats did vote for the bill. They voted for the funding. It was just I was mad then. That's why I was mad. Validated madness. Actually, people were like they had to. I had actual people like I don't know. I don't know. There's seriously like I'm not gonna do what people do and compare Democrats to MAGA because it's not even like we're not. I'm not doing that. That's smooth brained, but there's people that are behave as if they need to defend the Democratic Party. You know, similar energy to how MAGA does for Trump, but like they do it for the party. I don't know. Some, not all. Kind of weird. But I was mad because Democrats also voted to approve this funding and I was hit with tons of cope. Like, oh, they had to, but they had to do it. They had to. I'm like, what do you mean they had to? No, like they shouldn't be voting for a single, a single thing for this administration. They shouldn't be doing anything. You even have it made me mad watching Pete Hegseth in the testifying last week, and they're gonna approve the funding bill that's coming for the Department of Defense. It's sick. You wait till you get to that news. 1.5 trillion, you guys, in a bill. Republicans are supposed to be against Chungus funding bills. I don't ride the omnibus. I don't ride no bus. Buses are communism. We don't do that, but when Trump is in power, it's fine. We can 1.5 trillion, sure. That's good. That's good spending. Anyways, back to ICE before I'm getting ahead of myself. So ICE plans to deploy an addition 330 agents to cities in more than 40 states. So obviously, again, just to because I know that it's like 330 people, 40 states. That's maybe like 10 agents. Or no, it'd be like I don't know, like 30 some maybe maximum. In Minnesota, they had 4,000 here in just one state and mostly one city. Okay, they had 4,000. So they're gonna deploy again. They're going back to doing it again, but it's like not at the scale it was full sent into one place. Same thing in Chicago. There was thousands. I don't have the exact numbers there. You gotta check. I guess I can. Let me look it up. Status Quo was entrenched into Chicago more than I was. I caught the tail end. Chicago ICE agent number. How many of them ended up going there? No, not the phone number. Oh my god. Oh boy. It was a significant amount. So they had 300 federal agents and National Guard. They sent more to Minnesota. This it was like the final the fascist opus of Kristi Noem and that version of DHS. So, well, yeah, they sent thousands here, hundreds to Chicago. But the raids in Chicago were the similar energy that were here in Minneapolis and Minnesota. In the same style, Greg Bovino, same thing in Los Angeles, but it's like every time they did it, it was like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But now this is the new strat. Okay, 330 agents spread across 40 states. Probably going to be working with all states too involved. Okay, because you probably figured Minnesota was not going to go along with the mass deportations like Texas, which Greg Abbott like bent over and opened his asshole to Donald Trump. Minnesota is not doing that. And Trump knew as well because Walz is one of his political enemies. Tim Walz, if Kamala would have won, would have been the vice president. So that's why really he also that's an additional reason to why he sent so many agents here and why they're not done with Minnesota. Okay, they're not done with it. Keep in mind, Minnesota, won the Civil War. It's okay though. We got a battle flag still from Virginia. So you got a lot of like probably Stephen Miller type white nationalists that are mad about that still, and they want to undo the defeat that we gave to the Confederates. Okay, so I don't know. That's probably just where I'm at with it. It's just like at a deeper root, deeper issues, because Minnesota is also like very progressive. You know, it stands for marginalized communities mostly, and then even like yeah, the conservative areas are annoying, but they don't really say shit unless like a political time comes around. Honestly, like I watch right wing influencers in Minnesota on X, and they don't have any traction in the state. Maybe some Iron Range groups, or there's like Facebook groups for sure. Beyond that, though, and then also in the manner in which they came here made conservatives mad too, because like, well, conservatives definitely obviously are not happy with Tim Walz, and they don't want Democrats, but that was the federal government, but also they're watching this administration and how bad it's been. Gas prices are rising, more wars, and then you're sending thousands of federal agents into our state. Like you're gonna push people away. You're gonna push even like conservatives that yeah they're conservative, but they aren't really that political. They don't care. They're not that politically aggressive. They're conservative, but they're not politically aggressive. There's a lot of Minnesotans like that, like a shitload, where it's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, I live here, you know, there's land out there. They can go fishing and go out do outdoor stuff. So there's a lot of like extracurriculars that keeps conservatives in the state busy to where they're not like entrenched into. I'm seriously like they're not really that entrenched into X and like the ins and outs of what's happening in the politics, or like it's not like coastal states and or like coastal elite type of conservatives. They're just most of them just have families and they're just shut out and ignorant because that's just how it works. And also the media they watch, a heavy influence on the media that they choose to consume. But beyond that though, there was like the Trump administration tried to come to Minnesota and like have the basically what Trump told the Iranian protesters, but they were trying to come here and have conservatives rise up. Like, come on, do something, like help, and nobody. What do you got, Zach X out there? Who's still out there? You guys want to see what Zach X is doing? I'll post the video of me cooking him in a debate soon. I'm low key waiting for when it's like when he goes to jail, then I'll drop it. Like that's really what I want to do because like I'm just that type of person. But oh, you still post about me. It's fine. But oh, you liked it too. My lawyer was costly. I am still demonetized, jobless, and spending a lot on gas alone. Donate for America.
See, as you can see, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Yeah, true. So true. So true. Been charged with felony third-degree assault. He's 36. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. So my wife left me. My lawyer was costly. I'm demonetized. My podcast got canceled. Gas is so expensive. Why is gas expensive? Why is gas more expensive now than it was under Biden? Under Biden. Huh? Why when Biden was president, why gas like at least almost $2-3 more now? That's insane. I thought Trump was supposed to. I thought all these morons voted for him because he was going to lower the cost of living and stop all these wars. And then in their fucked up brain, they think mass deportations means cost of living is also going to help. So they think like he's just going to magically fix it, do like mass racism and genocide, and like that would handle it. That would handle the problem. It's not. It never will. You're just like pissing more people off, but with your heavy-handed politics, which is the truth. Like the MAGA cries about the far left all day, but the far left doesn't have power in this country. They go out and protest for sure. They go out and protest. Some of them get a little out of hand. The right wing is in control of this country from like the top down, and it's like they're extremists too. Like not moderate Republicans, not moderate conservatives, not the conservatives that I just talked about that like, yeah, they're conservative, but they spend most of their time outside and not like online, which I can respect that honestly. But the right wing is their power apparatus is the most extreme. I'm seriously sick of it. Like I'm good, and I hear it from conservatives too. The Democrats went so far left. No, they haven't. They have not. They've consistently rejected progressive, like just progressive voices. Because at this point, I'm looking at all of it. I have my opinions, but I'm looking at everything that's happening. Not just like, oh, I got to do it. Because I'm not going to defend Democrats. What the fuck? What do I look like? I don't. Like I say, I don't. I'm not part of that. I'm not an influencer for the Democratic Party. I'm not trying to make it on the Live and Learn podcast. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm here to analyze the situation as a whole. Okay. I'm here to analyze all of it. So the Democratic Party consistently like tries to stay as center as possible. Literally. Like the majority of the party. There's literally like fringe groups and they have specific nicknames, don't they? And you know who they are by name individually. But there's hundreds and hundreds of Democrats in power. But right wingers and others know the specific ones that like push the grain a little bit more, right? Literally like onesies and twosies. But the Democratic Party though is mostly centrist, and if not, like fucking tries to advocate for getting more Republicans to vote for him now, and that's what I've seen. Like 2024 was literally like my guns, my hunting, my fish, my truck. That was Kamala's campaign. And then her speeches, she'd have like Sexy Red out there and Fat Joe, and they would have concerts. But like their campaign was my guns, my truck, and my fish. Come on, conservatives, please vote for us. Come on, you don't want to vote for Trump? Come on, fuck Trump. Come on over. Like that was the whole energy the whole time, nonstop. Okay, so oftentimes the Democratic Party is not the far left that you think it is. It's literally not. It's just it's actually the center party. We don't have a actual far left party. MAGA, though, my argument is the extremist party and is in control. Okay, they have control of the government from the top down, from the Supreme Court to the presidency, for the Senate to the House of Representatives. They have the whole thing. Okay, MAGA, the extremists, not the moderates, not the centrist Republicans, which again don't exist. At least there are centrist libs, I guess, right? There's not a single, like at this point too, because any like centrist Republican is sold out for Donald Trump. Every single one. Rand Paul included. I remember I saw some people had some hope for him, even Massey. And they're all losers. Okay. Like, oh, this is one of the good ones. No, they're not. Nope, not at all. Because yeah, they were loud about the Epstein files, but everyone should be loud about the Epstein files. The Epstein files were bad. Strong and brave. I'm making strong and brave statements today. Hey, I don't think we should have pedophiles lead the government. I don't think that should happen. Very strong statements today. But like that's like a big deal for people. So like Rand Paul and Thomas Massey became little darlings for a little bit, and now because they're MAGA still, or they're right wing, there's no room in the Republican Party for any centrism. You can't be. If you try to be, Donald Trump will shit down your spine. Why aren't you being loyal to me? Me. That's the Republican Party. Okay, that's why the Democratic Party, you got to advocate for more progressive politicians, I feel, or people that will actually be, that will actually fight for the working class. And there's some that do exist, but like the the status quo of the party though, not really the most, not really pushing the mold. They're like recently started to flirt with candidates that are further left than Chuck Schumer. But they get pushback for that, like every time that happens. And then we have people arguing why why can't the party just stay where it's at? Is that fixing, like, we have to have significant, if the Democrats are going to win, which it seems like they're going to, we need to have significant changes in this country, like now, not waiting, not, oh, let's do it later, we need to do this and this. Nope. Do what Trump did and just full send into shit. But like for the American people though, not for like foreign wars and Israel, right? Trump did all that without asking. Democrats need to give increase the taxes on billionaires, codify the Affordable Care Act, okay, minimum wage increase, start penalizing corporations for increasing prices, or like make it very hard for them to do so, and you can pass that through legislation. I'm like all that and the ballroom needs to be a wrecking ball to it, like, and that needs, like I said, that needs to be on live stream. We need to be able to watch live and watch construction crew destroying the ballroom. Okay, the Epstein files, full release, not redacted, all of it. You have it all. They do now. Okay, but obviously they've only released like 3%. Okay, and this is like just at the start. Like, this is just at the beginning. Like, and if this doesn't happen, if Democrats get in there and say, okay, we just needed to win and now we just need to hold, we are fucked. We're fucked. We will go, it will literally like, it will go right back to where we are right now. And life will suck, but it'll suck harder because Donald Trump is kind of holding shit back. He's holding back the Stephen Miller dream here. Okay. If you don't want to hear this, it's just the truth. Stephen Miller wants harder than this. The actual fascists in MAGA, like Trump has an ego and he is a fascist, but he's like about himself. And like they're all like that, but he's like not he's making mistakes for their grand plan, in which if we don't have significant change in the country, if the Democrats win and take power, which again I think they will, they're gonna just rally and then just come right back, but have worse people in position. You'll see Greg Bavino leading the FBI. Okay, you'll have Greg Bavino back in power. You'll have Christine. I don't know if Christine. I don't know if Christine will be around again. I don't know. But you'll have these clowns. Will be or Kyle Rittenhouse. Maybe he'll lead the ATF or something. It's gonna be stupid. It will be so stupid if there is not significant change in the opposite direction, actually, from where we're at now. Okay, all that. It's got to be significant, and it can't be mid. And if it is, oh boy, I promise you it'll be bad. And people are going to be like, well, we got to focus on the now. We got to focus on the now. We got to win. It's like, brother, MAGA and Trump are so bad. I'm really not worried. The only thing I'm worried about is if Trump physically stops polling and like sends ICE agents there to physically stop people from voting, which is definitely possible and has definitely happened throughout history and definitely still happens to this day in countries like Russia. Okay, where they stop people from voting. Okay, so it's not like a fantasy. It's not like something that could happen. It has happened, and it is actively happening across the world in other countries that don't have freedom, or I guess our type. Okay, so that's the only thing I'm worried of stopping the elections or like stopping it. So because I'm pretty confident Democrats are likely going to win. I've only been watching them win like since last year, and MAGA is only pushing more and more conservatives away. We only really have a two-party system, and you got this. Look at, and this is a real thing. You guys can cope about it. I had somebody in my comments not understanding what I'm doing or like what I said here. I'm not endorsing Nick fucking Fuentes as a Democrat. I don't, like I said, I don't care. Like I'm observing the situation. I am not like a Democrat influencer. I'm not trying to pull people into the Democratic Party. I will tell you the politicians there are, and the one that is like probably, in my opinion, the best one to go for. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to pull you into a party, or like I'm not funded by a political PAC to get you to vote. Like, if anything, I want people to vote because I think that is what we have left. I've personally done stuff to get people to go out and vote, but it's not like the Democrats are telling me to do it, or I get paid from liberal super PACs. So, and this is real too. This is Nick Fuentes, who's a neo-Nazi. Okay, farther right than MAGA, has a massive base of people and also active right-wing influencers right now that are on mainstream right-wing news and everything. And it's not really that complicated. The Republicans betrayed their voters and broke every single promise. I'm switching sides and voting Democrat in 2026 to punish them. The right wing's not happy, okay? And they're going to do this out of spite. It's going to be a spite one. So I'm not worried about the Democrats losing. Okay? The only thing I'd be worried about is Trump stopping it. stopping elections. And no, I don't endorse Nick fucking Fuentes as part of the Democrat. I don't, like I said, I don't care. But no, in my community, I'm going to put it this way, because I have my own community. I have my own shit. I don't have to be a part of anybody else's shit. I got my own thing. We got like 20,000 on Facebook, 5,000 in Discord. And like, I can set up a website and we'll have thousands there too. Like, we have people, we got a community, the renegades. I don't care. I got mine. I don't give a fuck. I got mine at the end of the day. Really. So, I'm just saying everyone is Democrats now, because that's how I'm just, what other party is there? I don't see the entire American political system coming to a halt, or like a revolution happening here before midterms. So you're gonna have this right-wing chungus that is mad at Trump, which they are gonna vote for the opposition party, which we only have one really. They're likely gonna win. They're gonna have the support from actual. But anything, this should help. Honestly, if you're like actually a Democratic influencer and you influence for the Democratic Party, when they're hit, and I still have my own issues with Graham Plattner and why he wasn't a grown man and just own his tattoo and get over it and then just move on. Like, he should have done that, and we wouldn't have had to deal with his problems. But when they're crying about Graham Plattner, be like, you're fucking neo-Nazi here is choosing to be a traitor to your own party or whatever. Like, actual neo-Nazi. Okay. And they're going to do it to spite Trump and spite MAGA, because Trump started a war in the Middle East. He promised people things. I don't know why people thought he was going to, I don't know what people thought. But again, when we only have two parties, it's how it works in America. We don't have 5 parties. We don't have more than, we only have 2. There are other parties, but they have zero representation in the government, no power. And they're just kind of like, hey, I voted for the third party this year. But there's like, it'd be one thing if like the Green Party or Libertarian Party or whatever had seats in the Congress. They don't. They just simply do not. It's Republican or Democrat, and that's it. So libertarians have to suck it up and be right wing, and progressives and people that are like further left have to fill in the bubble too at the end of the day, because they don't have representation either, actually, except for like a couple Democrats, literally. So I'm making the observation that like they're gonna be spite votes. So I'm not like, and people that are making like, here, are you seriously celebrating winning this guy over to the Democratic Party? And winning him over to what? I'm not winning anyone over. Is Nick Fuentes in my community? That would be a problem. I wouldn't approve that. I wouldn't approve this Nazi in my shit at all. He'd be rejected. But I'm like, I'm not endorsing this. I'm making a statement. Okay, why? The guy's a nutbag. He deserves to be ridiculed into oblivion. Okay, but he's still going to be voting Democrat. Like, okay, what do you mean? Oh, if not sure you think it's the win, it is. I'm not claiming it's a win. It's literally an observation. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, at the end of the day, there's going to be the worst types of people that are going to spite vote Trump now. And like, anyone that's arguing morality about the Democratic Party, just not even, I wouldn't even do that. I'm seeing people do that too. Like, oh, we can't have Graham Plattner. We have moral standards. We can't have Graham Plattner as a representation. Really? Really? You want to talk about standards?
Mr. Berman, I would just say that John Fetterman is doing as well with Pennsylvania Democrats as the New York Giants are as liked in the state of Pennsylvania or the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I mean, just look at this. Among Pennsylvania Democrats and net approval of Fetterman, back in 2023, he was a Democrat liberal darling. He was at plus 68 points. Look at how low he has fallen down to negative 40 points. He's down there with the Titanic.
Not the Titanic.
Democrats in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And, put a comparison point on, we always talk about how Chuck Schumer is not well liked by the Democratic base nationwide. Chuck Schumer has a net popularity rating of about minus 2 points. He is 38 points more popular than John Fetterman is.
How is that possible?
Democrats. And I was also looking at Kristen Sinema, who, of course, ended up leaving the Democratic Party in Arizona. She was considerably more popular just before she shifted over than John Fetterman. Fetterman is at minus 40 points.
Is this a 108-point swing?
This
108
is a 108
Okay.
point swing.
Yo.
Very good mathematics here. I mean,
I was honestly thinking, is that even possible? All right, how does this compare to other? He faces a primary, and if he wants to run again, he faces an election in 2 years if he runs in a Democratic primary. How have senators who lost their primaries,
how does this compare to other dog shit Democrats?
How does their whole situation compare to this?
I would just know John was like off on the screen going, what? Wait a minute. 108-point swing. You never see anything like that, but my goodness gracious. I mean, just take a look here. Okay, 2,000 senators' own party net rating about when they lost a primary. Bob Smith plus.
And these are some very terrible Democrats, like basically Republicans.
15. Arlen Specter plus
like
13.
terrible.
Of course, he switched.
And they're all like, again, the worst is Lisa Murkowski. She was at negative 15. Fetterman's at negative 40.
Parties, the Democrats, it didn't work for him from Republicans.
Yo.
Plus 6, Joe Lieberman. Dick Lugar was at 0 points. Lisa Murkowski was at minus 15 points. All of these were considerably more popular than
Terrible.
John Fetterman is right now at minus 40 points. He is below the lowest, the ones who actually
These are the Republicans that got in.
got beat in a primary. There is no historical analog to this. That is how unpopular John Fetterman is with Pennsylvania Democrats.
And you know what's wild is that there's no inverse of this. I want you to think about that. Right? You have Republicans that run and win and are Democrats, and you don't have any liberals or leftists at all in the Republican. Like nobody wins there. I don't even know anybody that's tried. Wait, maybe is that the cheat code? Maybe like leftists should like campaign in the Republican Party. Yo. Is that how it works? Let's flip it. Let's flip the parties again. Let's do it. I'm kidding. I don't know. But this is wicked. This doesn't happen though on the right side. They don't take. If you're not like short, like ready to genocide in the Middle East and send every brown person back anywhere, that you're done, or like you're not making it in the right wing. So there isn't like you can't like. And if anything, at this point in the right wing, you are like one of these type of politicians if you question Trump, or if you go against Trump, or if you that's what gets you on this type of a list in the right wing. Like, oh, those are rhinos or whatever. And it's clowning. Like, for example, Liz Cheney, 95% of all Trump policies she voted along with. Only 95% got a perfect A. 95% is an A. But as soon as she's like, oops, hold on. January 6th was bad. Oh, she became a rhino immediately. Oh, she's basically a Democrat. No, she's not. All right. But that's the type. That's the psychosis of the right wing and like how it works there. And like you're a traitor, right? But like these politicians, they're hated because of their actions and how they vote, right? You got Fetterman literally becoming like the Israel darling. And being like that's not how does that, when you have people that are voting left wing, they're usually like looking out for humanitarian issues, no more war, like, hey, let's help the working class. Then you have this fucking hoodie and basketball shorts loser standing there like this. Actually, I think we need war weapons to Israel. No, that's why he is like at negative 40, right? Or like these other dog shit Democrats that have existed that are basically right wing. Because they vote with the Republican Party, okay, and for some reason, only in the Democratic Party do these types of politicians make it in. Okay, obviously the right wing sucks, and that's why there's overflow, and there shouldn't be any overflow. That's insane. It's like they get the whole Republican Party and some of the Democrats. It's insane. That can't happen anymore.
There is basically no doubt in my mind that if Fetterman decides to run for re-election as his Democrat, he will face a primary challenge and will be a very competitive one.
So Fetterman says that Democrats are suffering from what he calls Trump derangement syndrome. Is that a compelling argument to make among the voters there?
No.
No.
That is the last thing that Democrats want to hear. I mean, look at this. Lowest approval among Dems at this point in term 2. Donald Trump has just a 4-point approval rating. George W. Bush.
Fetterman was like, I'm so not liked. I'm literally just going to become MAGA now. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Trump is at.
Was not was it 10%?
4%. You had Nixon and Bush. More Democrats like those guys. than Trump.
Nixon was at 11%. Donald Trump is the lowest of the low on this point. The bottom line is this. John Fetterman, when you look at his net popularity rating at minus 40 points, he's on a completely other planet from Chuck Schumer, who is also unpopular, and he is on a different galaxy entirely from other incumbents who actually lost re-election, far less popular than them.
We set it up by talking about his vote to push Markwayne Mullin through committee. How likely do the prediction markets think Markwayne Mullin is to get confirmed?
Yeah.
Oh, he was. Yeah, that was old now, but insane, right? So there's really no, like, I don't want to see like, oh, moral, like looking for the morals, like this candidate's not perfect, this candidate's says too many things online. It's basically just a bunch of political back and forth today. Like, there's really not a whole lot in that realm of it. But also you had really quick before we continue on, Kyle Rittenhouse posted an interesting one. You guys know him from my coverage in Kenosha. He had a fire extinguisher and killed people, and it's kind of just like running around scared. But, you know, won a major case and he got away with murder, basically, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. So he blamed getting him. So, okay, so he got bit by a spider and blamed the communists. The communists couldn't take me out, and I'll be damned if I let a brown recluse take me out. So, like, at first glance, when I saw that, I was like, what kind of racist shit is he on today? Until it's like, oh, he literally got bit by a spider. The spider, like the commies, also thought it was a good idea to come after me while I was armed. He did not survive. Did you shoot the spider? What in the fuck, bro? MAGA men will be like, hell yeah, Kyle. Hell yeah, that's Mikhail. Mikhail. Hell yeah, brother. Tactical spider killing. Kill the spiders. Disappointed I'm not Spider-Man now. Oh my God, make it stop. You got this. Stay protected. Those communist spiders. I need to address something. Because I got like, and I need to understand because I don't understand. Okay, and it is what it is. But I need to understand so that way I can understand. But it's gonna be a tough one for me. So I posted this. I posted this one on Facebook because I didn't know. Well, first of all, I didn't know, like, would this pass the censors? You know what I mean? Like, because it's got, you know, like full nips are out, and it is what it is. But, you know, and most of the comments were like, you know, just having good fun with it and whatever. There were a couple in the comments that were like they were like upset with me because they thought this was insensitive to the trans community. And I hear that and I understand that. And I stand with trans people. Trans women exist, trans men exist. Yeah, all that for sure. I struggle. This is where I struggle. Okay. And maybe you could help me out, or I don't know, maybe the people that were criticizing me were off the mark, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a combination of both. It would be one thing for me, right, if, say, Blair White or Caitlyn Jenner, right, and I was misgendering them or disrespecting them beyond their politics or whatever, you know what I mean? Because, like, they're active in the right wing. Or, you know, if I'm just whatever to actual, like, right-wing individuals, like in the trans community, and there are, okay, and there are LGBTQ plus people that are right-wing, you know what I mean? All that they exist, okay? I failed to understand how Kyle Rittenhouse, who is a MAGA influencer, but he's like literally got famous for murdering people and got away with it in the court of law, and why putting a bra on him is like transphobic. And I got hit with that. I got hit with that one on my Facebook. I got hit with that one, and I don't understand. Okay, but I'm willing to try to, if you can explain it. But I struggle, like, again, because there are MAGA trans influencers. There are trans people that are right wing, and I would never misgender them or like try to cut them down for their identity. Okay, this was putting a bra on Kyle Rittenhouse. and it was like I think it just made people laugh. I don't know, like, and again, feel free to message me, maybe feel free to hit me up. You don't have to write in the comments, but I struggle to understand that. Okay, but I'm willing. Maybe I'm not seeing it correctly. I just see it as Kyle Rittenhouse wearing a bra, and he got put in a bra, and it made people laugh for the day because the news sucks so bad, and this dude's out here killing commie spiders, and people like this should be made fun of. Because, like, you can't beat these types of people with facts and logic. What are you going to beat Kyle Rittenhouse, commie spider killer, now with facts and logic, and let's just win him over with their ideas? Fascists, like, only lose when they're, like, made fun of. I don't know. I don't know. And he posted the picture himself. I didn't alter the picture. This is Kyle Rittenhouse's account. Like, he posted the photo. But anyways, yeah, I'm willing to hear it out. I'm willing to understand if I'm wrong. And also, like, I don't know if seeking, like, I don't know why. I don't understand actually at all. Like, make it make sense for me, because there are real trans people that in MAGA, and I would never misgender them or go at their identity. Okay, I'm if anything, I'm going at Kyle Rittenhouse's, but he's like a gun sexual, I want to kill people person. Like, his whole thing is, I want to kill. I've already killed people. I want to aura farm that memory and, like, indicate I'm willing to kill more. And I'm like, why can't we make fun of that? Or, like, why can't we make fun of this person? You know what I mean? Like, this is not a good person. This is a terrible person. Okay. So help me out. I get it. I wouldn't misgender a right-wing trans person ever. Many exist. I stand with the trans community, stand with all LGBTQ plus rights beyond that. But I don't know. So help me out, hit me up if I'm missing something. But I thought it was just something to laugh at for the day yesterday. It was just like a few comments, but it was like from a few people that I know. But it was more people who just thought it was funny. But it is what it is. It be like that. This continues on. Okay, local news keeps posting about this one. Here in Minnesota, Turning Point USA contributor suffered a concussion and strained her ankle and spine, you guys. This is why I've just kind of left this one now at this point. Like, I said my piece, how I felt about it, but, like, I knew it was going to get stupid. I knew it was going to get silly, and, like, she's just going to continue to hammer more and more lawsuits out there. So you got a concussion, strained her ankle and spine. I don't support what happened to her. I don't support hitting women. This kind of, but that's the game they're going to play. Okay, that's why don't do it. Just don't even do it. Like, going forward, if you see a right-wing thing there, let them do it, and just that it's. I promise you, it's funnier when they're just like not getting attention, but they're still there. It's way funnier than, like, trying to own them with facts and logic or blow a whistle at them. You can do that. You have the freedom of speech to do what you want to do, but, like, from experience, like, before Jake Lang did what he did in Minneapolis, wanted to burn a Quran and, like, take it beyond what. It was really funny watching Jake Lang and his little crew of, like, 3 people, like, not have any, like, they were there. Like, you had the crowd at Whipple and they were in the streets, hundreds of people. And then you had, like, Jake Lang and his little crew there, like, doing their thing, but nobody was even giving them attention after the first few minutes. And it was like, I would, on my stream, you can go back and watch it, but I'd be filming the crowd, and then, because I think it's funny, I zoom out, and then I'd show Jake Lang and his little group by themselves. And it looked sad, and people laughed on stream. 1,000% did. They thought it was hilarious. Because it is. Because you either starve them for attention or you make fun of them. There's no like facts and logicking these people. Okay, it doesn't work like that with fascists. Okay, I don't know. I'm also not really I'm not really competing in, like, the woke Olympics, guys. Like, I mean, I'll do what I can. I like I said, I'm willing to adjust my perspective if I'm wrong, But like, yeah, like, I want, like, I'm gonna be dancing when these people, go for real. Like when they hit old age and they're in the ground, like, or like pissing on graves, probably. And I don't know what type of level of reverence you think we should be giving these people. I don't feel they deserve any of it. Or like, hold on, let's take a moment and hold on, let's not do that. I don't, you know, we're in a different America, and these fascists are not moving off facts and logic. They're moving off of like getting made fun of, and like tons of people going into the streets wearing frog costumes or whistles being blown. You know what I mean? Like they're losing like and there he is doing his fucking thing again. Told you guys. John Fetterman, what's he doing now? I remain strongly pro-choice, pro-weed, pro-LGBT, pro-snap, pro-labor, pro-ribeye over bio. So you're like a libertarian? Because that's like a libertarian perspective too. Being an independent voice that works with the other side to deliver for Pennsylvanians might put me at odds with the party that I have stayed committed to and have no plans to leave, but I will continue to put the Commonwealth and the country first. Oh yeah, or people throwing dildos or having the dildo blitz, right? Like they're MAGA's losing because it's people are exposing how ridiculous they are, but also making fun of them is working. Okay, it'd be one thing if like, I don't know, I see it differently, especially coming from that world. Maybe that's why. I'm just gonna see it different. There's your guys' senator. We need another 3 trillion for Israel. Stat. I haven't changed. Holy. It's actually wicked. Okay, I have some bookmarks saved. Here, I have some bookmarks quick because I do want to get into some news about Iran and our bases and talk about that for a little bit. And then also the gas prices and everything else that sucks right now. Here's another person that sucks. Kash Patel's testimony, 99% redacted. Here's the most transparent administration in history.
Here we are. Testimony of Kashyap Patel.
Kashyap.
Taken in the presence of a full quorum of the grand jury.
Let's take a look.
Thursday, October 13th, 2022.
Oh.
Good, we're good to go. Oh man, they were exhibits.
Damn, what are the exhibits?
The exhibits have been redacted.
Dang.
Not much there.
Oh.
No info there. Everything redacted. Everything redacted. Redacted? Redacted, 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 redacted. Redacted, 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 redacted until the court reporter says, okay, we're off the record. Except for one thing. This one line shows Kash Patel saying, so, upon the advice of counsel, I'll be invoking my Fifth Amendment privilege.
Your boy was pleading the
So
fifth.
this is when he asserted his privilege, not when he testified. So, the search must go on.
Ooh. Bump, bump. Nope, 99% redacted. Those glasses, they came with increased intellect, though. Ronna Atkins. Trump in 2016, I'm going to be working for you. Here's your president. How about your president, though? You want to switch it to me and my glasses? Sick. A good attempt.
Because I'm going to be working for you. I'm not going to have time to go play golf. And
Meanwhile, the president.
believe me.
His golf promises.
I love golf. I think it's one of the greats, but I don't have time. 250 rounds, that's more than a guy who plays on the PGA Tour plays.
Obama ought to get
Obama.
off the golf course and get down there.
Yeah, get down there.
Executive order, because he doesn't have enough time because he's playing
Right.
so much golf. He doesn't.
Right, he doesn't have enough time. Just all
have
executive
enough time
order.
to convince Congress to
Right.
do it.
So I have the greatest stuff. But you know what? And I love golf. But if I were in the White House, I don't think I'd ever see Turnberry again. I just want to stay in the White House and work my ass off.
Because
Just want to stay in there and work my ass off. What other bullshit happened? Oh, we'll get to that. Oh boy. We'll get to that. That's all part of geopolitics. We'll get to that stuff. Oh God. Anybody watch Pawn Stars? If you do, you should maybe stop.
I just want to say he's amazing. He's done so much. I mean, so much for all of us. I mean, the backbone of this country is small business, plain and simple. And the last guy in office, all we heard was that we were the evil people, we were the bad people, everything else like that. We don't pay our fair share, whatever that's supposed to be. And he made it tough. And this guy, the big beautiful bill, absolutely amazing. You know what I mean? God bless you for letting me get 100% depreciation. It really helps out. And all I can say is this is literally, I mean, I'm a history buff and I know a lot about this White House thing and everything. Literally, he's going to go down as maybe the best president ever. I love this guy.
Wow. Wow.
Send Rick to my room after this. What the fuck? Wow.
Wow.
Damn. So many good words about me. Wicked. Wicked business. Definitely wicked. What else happened in local stuff? Alligator Alcatraz is closing. That's good news. At least it's in the talks. Federal and state officials are discussing closing Alligator Alcatraz, which is another Kristi Noem failure. Florida is in talks with the Trump administration to shut down a high-profile immigration detention center that opened last summer in the Everglades and has cost the state hundreds of millions of dollars to operate, according to a federal official, a former ICE official, a person close to the administration of DeSantis. The shutdown talks are preliminary, the people said, but officials at the Department of Homeland Security have concluded that it is too expensive to keep operating at the center known as Alligator Alcatraz. Homeland Security officials have also come to consider the center ineffective. All three people spoke on the condition of anonymity. So it sucks. It costs too much money. That's kind of like sums up the Trump administration, right? The shit was expensive and it sucks. The DeSantis administration has been spending more than $1 million a day. There you go, Florida. There you go, Florida. How you guys like spending $1 million a day in taxpayer money to a concentration camp? That sucks. It's a sucky one too, apparently. Private vendors hired by the state to operate it have been struggling to front costs. They've had to front their own. Hell nah. To keep up that bullshit. The Department of Homeland Security did not respond to a request for comment. Neither did the Florida Division of Emergency Management, which operates the center, not DeSantis' office. Mr. DeSantis, a Republican, has repeatedly called the Everglades Detention Center a success, saying it helped. It's so successful we can't pay for it anymore. But it was always supposed to be temporary, just a temporary thing. The center shutdown would have been hailed by immigration lawyers, activists, and many detainees and their family as a huge win. Critics denounced what they describe as unsanitary and inhumane conditions at the center since it opened 10 months ago. State officials have consistently dismissed the descriptions as false. They're true, though. As of last month, the center held nearly 1,400 detainees, all of them men, according to ICE. The agency classified about 2/3 of the detainees in the center, which it calls the Florida Soft-Sided Facility South. It's a lot of S. Like the SS camp. Mr. DeSantis has said from the start that the federal government would pay back the state for operating the center, but Florida has yet to receive the $608 million federal. You ain't getting it. Haha, suck it. You think you're getting reimbursement from the Trump administration? What the? Why do you think protesters were out there telling ICE agents to their face that they're not getting money? And then the states that are paying to have this shit, you're not getting money. So taxpayers paid for that. You ain't getting money back to stimulate your state or whatever for spending that much on this dumb shit. That sucks. Oh well, I live in Minnesota. We stood against ICE. We wouldn't accept the fucking Alcatraz bullshit here. I don't know. I've noticed like a lot of differences between states. Like there's like-minded individuals, but this whole are like states completely ran differently. and how like the governor and how your state is operated matters. Holy. Kamala Harris wants to release the autopsy of her 2024 campaign. Just quickly getting you guys some of the more, there wasn't a whole lot of major news today, but some of the other things kind of happening in the background. Kamala Harris wants the DNC to release its autopsy report on the 2024 campaign. Is this going to be a video? Former Vice President Kamala Harris considers another run for president. Please no. Thank you. She's also signaling that she has no problem with the public airing of what went wrong last time, telling donors she believes the Democratic National Committee should release its buried autopsy of her failed 2024 campaign, according to a person who has heard the conversations. While she indicated to donors that she has no issue with releasing it, Harris has not discussed the post-mortem with the DNC chairman, Ken Martin, and did not know about his decision to keep it under wraps until it happened. Probably because, I can get to what I think. Like most prospective candidates, Harris is staying involved in political affairs. That includes touring the country, giving speeches to state parties, developing the framework for a policy platform, and sounding out fellow Democrats about her next chapter. Can we not? Please, no. Just no. What's unique about Harris is that while she tries to orient toward the future, many in her party are actively fighting over whether to keep examining the flaws of her last campaign. Yeah, it was, I got you. Israel. Yep. There you go. Yep. Israel. And giving them weapons when we had 4K video of what Israel was doing to Gaza. That's why. That's why. Very simple. It'd be like if, I don't know, because there was even like, because I was gauging the right wing too. And the right wing wasn't too happy. Like they didn't do much, but like they weren't too thrilled seeing MAGA like capitulate to Russia and like their invasion of Ukraine and like cheer on that and like lie about it. Okay. But you know, that was more of a niche than obviously Biden being president and supporting Israel. So yeah, that's why. Got you. Easy one. Very simple. And then also really not being like actually, you know, progressive or like left wing at all. Kamala Harris is like basically center right. Okay. That's just the facts. I got you. Very easy autopsy. Center right candidate when you're going against Donald Trump, who is far right. You told the Palestine protests like you're annoying, basically. You're annoying and fuck off. That was the energy towards the Palestine protest. At the same time, like, and I was a little annoyed with it too because they weren't really like one thing if it was fair and balanced and like the protest was like protesting both parties, but it like wasn't. I don't know. Like I have yet to see really a strong like anti-war protest against like the Republican Party. I don't know. What is it? I haven't seen. Like, let me know. I don't know. Is it because you're like obviously like the Democratic Party? If they tear gas and flashbang and destroy protesters, it would be bad for them politically. So it's like, you know, you can do that more, or like, I don't know. Like I didn't see it equal. I didn't see it equal on both. Just being a perspective, but that doesn't take away from the fact she did tell the Palestine protest and people trying to advocate for Palestine to fuck off, basically. Okay, I'm speaking. What you say? I'm speaking. Yeah, quiet. I'm speaking now, or whatever. And everyone thought that was cool and like clap for her. Obviously, looking back, that looks terrible now, right? Because you got like you unprecedented. You lost. She said, "I'm speaking now."
Absolutely. Whatever the vice president is claiming the administration has done, clearly it hasn't worked.
All this.
When you're looking at over 210,000 dead bodies.
No, what is this? No, at her camp, at her rally. There you go.
Here's the thing. Let me say something.
I'm speaking her common thing, I guess.
We are 6 days out of an election. We are 6 days away from an election. And ours is about a fight for democracy and your right to be heard. That is what is on the line in this election. line in this election. Look, everybody has a right to be heard, but right now I am speaking.
Okay, so like all that bad, all that was bad. Also, right, you had that going on. Okay, you had the Democrats trying to bring conservatives over, while you had right-wing media like at the same time cooking the remainder of the country that like doesn't really know what the fuck's happening. And you had Elon go on Joe Rogan Experience, say this is a matter of life and death. This is the election of all elections. And you had every single major podcast or streamer that like capitulated to Donald Trump, or like at the very end, oh, we got to support Trump, and they all rallied, and it was astroturfed into hell. Because if you actually watch Trump's campaign in 2024, it was embarrassing. Like, if you actually watch, like, you guys remember this?
250 million people are not garbage. I can tell you who the real garbage is, but we won't say that.
Yeah. But his name is Biden. And his stupid garbage truck. Oh, almost missed there. Or how about Trump at McDonald's, guys? Remember this one? Remember Trump at McDonald's?
And I've always wanted. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. He's like one of he's like one of us. He's like one of us. Look at, he's putting the fries in the bag.
You're an expert at this, huh?
Yeah.
How long have you done this? How long have you been here?
Okay.
I've been working now 10 plus.
10 plus? Yeah, all different jobs.
Wow.
She doing a good job?
Does an excellent job.
Be better, right?
Does an excellent
This
job.
is beautiful. Let's go.
So we had all that going on, right? And the campaigns themselves were literally putting the people to sleep. Trump 2024 rally sleep. There's probably videos of people sleeping. Trump loses speaking ability, crowd falls asleep. There you go.
We have a major contrast. Here is a really weird glitch moment.
Whether we will make America powerful again, we're going to make it powerful.
Yeah, and that was like every single one. So if you're like, wow, Trump is so bad, he was bad, he's been bad. He was doing all this shit in his campaign because he was tiring out. It wasn't until Pennsylvania, in which then they had the entire right wing. It's very, very eerily similar to what happened at the press thing, the press thing, whatever the fuck it's called. I got Met Gala on my head. Met Gala. I don't care. All these rich fucking events. Fuck them all. I don't care about any of them. But it was like the same, like, oh, my ballroom. We need the ballroom. It was very similar to when Pennsylvania happened, and it was like, oh, we got to vote for Trump now. Now we got to rally for Trump. But like his actual campaign all year was like, it was like how it is now in terms of not really anyone supporting. Everyone that was voting for Kamala, including me, thought like she was gonna win, because I was like, where the fuck? There's no support for Trump here. Like people are falling asleep. This is a video from a year ago.
1 hour mark, people started walking out. You see that the mezzanine is 2/3, 3/4 empty, and you will hear Trump droning on and see people leaving.
So like, if you're like TP USA, right? Turning Point USA. I think it's on my threads. You guys can follow me on threads. Right? It's looking like it's giving. One second. What TPUSA looks like right now, right? Not many people really fucking with it because Trump sucks, and we all have to live under it now. That was Trump's campaign too. His campaign was the same way. It sucked. This was the energy. This is now in 2026. This is 2024. Same, because people don't really actually fuck with him. It's like he just tells people what they want to hear in the moment. That's how Trump wins. It's because like people have biases, and people are ignorant, and people are racist and bigoted and are hateful, and Trump will tickle their funny bone when he needs to. But beyond that, though, when it's all done, they don't give a fuck. Because why would you? Who the fuck wakes up and thinks about Iran? Who wakes up and thinks, "Oh God, gotta just give Israel more money today, boy. The Middle East is the Middle Eastern problem." Not a real fucking person does that. Maybe if you live in Tel Aviv, or if you live in Israel, or if you're a CENTCOM sexual, or if you like are in that over there and serving, maybe, I don't know. But most Americans are not waking up and thinking about all of the cooked problems. And if anything, I bet you they don't even think about trans people until they log into the internet and see someone else posting about it. Most right-wing opinions come from their influencers. They don't have their own independent thought. Okay, we've learned that. You know that's facts now. You guys know that right-wing influencers put people into group chats and disseminate information out. That's how it works. That's how the right wing keeps itself culted. So, but regardless, outside of all that shit, nobody likes this, actually. In terms of the masses are not down for MAGA, truthfully. That's why he needed the assassination attempt in Pennsylvania and others to barely, and I mean barely, because like MAGA wants to rewrite this too and say that the election was like a fucking absolute, like just he destroyed her, epic win, ultimate victory. We have a mandate. What does he say? Mandate and all that other garbage. Yeah, like you beat her by a percent, 1.5% of the country. You beat her by just a little over 2 million votes. Okay, which again, if Kamala Harris was actually more progressive, that would have been close. Because she was mid and like rejected the seriousness of aiding Israel. Because guess what? You know what? If anything, everything that's happening now with Iran, it's validating what the protesters were doing back then, because they were trying to stop it before it got to this point. You wouldn't have Israel trying to embolden Trump and then successfully getting him to launch a war with Iran if Biden and Kamala were not helping Israel at all, period. And like giving them any weapons. They should have been cut the fuck off from the moment when American media found out that Israel's committing a genocide in Palestine. And like they're not going after Hamas locations or whatever the fuck. They're literally wiping out whole city blocks. Very similar to how Russia's doing in Ukraine, which is what I was engulfed in the world I was in at the time, right? I'm in Ukraine, you know, with the soldiers helping, and like I'm watching what's happening, and then I'm seeing videos and like, damn, why are we helping Israel do what I'm seeing Russia do to Ukraine right now? That's fucked up. That ain't right. And sure enough, a lot of the country thought the same way apparently, but a little bit more aggressive about it, which is fine. To the point where they protested Kamala or didn't vote for her, and then gave us Donald Trump. Okay, but like at the end of the day, when do we put the blame on the leadership and not really like the people? Because people are going to react. People are going to react to what's happening, but like the people at the top and the ones that are running the country should be more responsible with their leadership and should not like aid Israel and cut Israel the fuck off. And that needs to be a pillar of the Democratic Party. Actually, we can have no room for that anymore. If that's like the party and that's what's going to happen. If more people are going to vote Democrat or whatever, we can't support Israel. It's got to be cut off. It stands against everything that apparently the Democratic Party's fighting for. Also, standing for the king was cringe. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Like when the king came and you had Democrats standing and clapping for him, like they all should have stayed fucking seated. I don't know. Like they'll be cool with them because he's a political figure ish, you know, he's a figure, so you give him like reverence and respect. But like when you have your constituents and because some Democratic politicians have gone out into the protest with no king signs, and they're out there saying no kings, but yet when the fucking King of England comes, that's why I thought it was weird. That whole thing was weird. Like I understand it. He had good. I don't have anything against what the king said. Like it was a good speech. It was a good speech. It wasn't divisive or anything. If anything, it was like directed at Trump. If you actually listening to the speech, but it was weird to have that happening and like see Democrats clapping for a king when we're out saying no kings in the streets. That's weird to me. Okay, that's just weird to me. Okay, like no kings means no kings. Not like I don't care. Like that's what that means. Not no king, but just Trump no king. But we welcome the real king. Like that's it's kind of weird, especially like I don't know. I know we're getting close to our 250th anniversary. It was more of a ceremonious thing, but right now what fuck we should have no time for ceremonious things when we're living in under this administration. Affordability is becoming a crisis beyond belief now. And like more and more people are going to be struggling to pay bills because of this administration, or like they've had their family destroyed by ICE agents, or they've had their family destroyed by Iranian ballistic missiles in the Middle East because Trump started a war against the will of the American people. So I'm not with the ceremonious bullshit right now, and like doing things because it's like for ceremony. Like there needs to be a hard line against this, and it shouldn't be treated as a game. This should not be treated as a season. Oh, we're just living through a season of MAGA. This is just a season of right wing. Like we just gotta vote, which you do that. Definitely do that. Vote. We gotta vote, and everything will be cleared. It'll be fixed. No kings, no fascism. We win. That is so short sighted. That is very, very short-sighted thinking, like incredibly. And you're gonna have I eat ass face in like right after the Democrat likely wins in 2028, because I don't not see that happening. I don't not see the Democrat winning, right? Especially in this current climate, which I've went into earlier. But if we go to status quo stuff, and if anything, it'll welcome the door. It'll open the door for more right-wing nonsense. They'll get to play victimhood mentality. And they'll get to be, like it's always funny, right? When Republicans love capitalism extra hard. And I like appreciate what it does, right? And like the opportunities it can provide, but there's no safeguards. And it really just makes the rich richer. Like it needs to be, like we need our system reformed. But you have like these Republicans that will like, no, we can't tax the rich, can't tax billionaires. We can't do that because I'm going to be a millionaire someday. Right. But then when Democrats take power, and because capitalism exists and corporations and just obviously the how our way of life is, Republicans will cook on that. And you can't afford anything. You can't afford gas. You can't afford groceries. We'll fix it. Because Democrats have done really not much to address the affordability crisis, or like taxing the rich, increasing minimum wage. Because if the Democrats did that, it would take away all that propaganda that the Republicans cook on about capitalism in general when Democrats win, and like the problems that capitalism brings. Love it though when they're in power. Love it. Better not speak against it either, or you're a communist.
Thank you.
There you
go.
Very exciting, as you can see, just electric, the atmosphere. And then some people also seem to be sleeping. There were a number of folks who seemed to be asleep or almost asleep. I've not been able to independently confirm that all of these were in REM stage sleep. I can't.
Okay, that's MAGA now though too. This was MAGA during the election. All it takes is like them to cook up some propaganda, a false flag, some bigotry, mix it all together, add ICE agents, and then you got right-wing slop. Add in some masked federal agents and also increase support to Israel. Not end wars, actually, more wars. And there you go. Okay. So this was, again, to remind you, this was during 2024 campaign, Trump running for president. It's the same now. It was the same then as it is now. There's no interest in MAGA. But now, unfortunately, because Trump cooked on propaganda and just psychosis of the right wing, which always exists, in my opinion, I feel like the right wing's a bigger cult than just MAGA, and that's a problem. But it's the same situation in terms of the support for him. It doesn't actually really exist except for on social media, really, because you go talk to any regular individual right now and they're not You know, I don't think you would find one that would be openly supportive of Trump unless they're an influencer, or unless they're like, when you go and talk to them, they're wearing MAGA merch and like they're fully culted, because there are people like that where they're just wearing Trump shit all day, every day, wearing their Trump hat, wearing their freedom shirt, you know, all that. And like, yeah, they're gonna for sure suck him and like be in the cult still. But you're not gonna have, I don't think you're gonna have too many non-cultists like they're right wing. And I feel it's a big problem, but I don't think you're gonna have too many of them really supporting Trump at this point because of the actions in the Middle East. And here is some of those. CNN did a report showing the U.S. bases that have been destroyed by Iran. We haven't seen much from this. A lot of that stuff's hidden, other than the soldiers that have been killed. We had a story of a pilot that had to get saved, and we've heard nothing from that since. What a story. Heard nothing from that, though. A few of these bases I've been at personally when I served in the military, so I've been to them. And crazy to see them in the state that you're going to see them, because Kuwait is not a combat tour. You're not going to Kuwait with risk of being in combat. You're not going there thinking you're going to fight. It's like, it's a sustainment tour. You're helping. When I was there, we were like, there was missions in Iraq, and they'd come back down, and we'd like transport them and stuff, or like goods and shit, but we weren't in combat at all. It's truly like a sustainment type of tour in the Middle East. Like, you get Middle Eastern experience, but it's like, and you're doing desert operations for sure, but it's like, you know, you're not worried about that until now.
Unprecedented destruction. A CNN investigation discovering Iran has caused extensive damage to a majority of the U.S. military sites in the region. Precise Iranian missile and drone strikes, aided by sophisticated Chinese technology, hitting some of America's most crucial military assets in the Middle East. The extent of the damage unknown until now. Our Tamara Kablawi is out front.
Camp Buehring, Kuwait.
Should I go get my Camp Buehring gym T-shirt? It's blue. I gotta find it. It's in my laundry. Yep, spent time there. That we like, and everything we like going up there because we got to get away from Camp Arifjan, which is where the generals are and all them. It's just, I don't know. It's just you gotta act. It's just different. You feel like you're on a field trip when you go, and you're just with your squad leader, and it's really just like you guys. You don't have to worry about the chain of command. Like, in Camp Buehring is one of those places, because we were at Camp Arifjan. I think Buehring was like a few hour drive away. Can't remember exactly now, but it took us hours to get up there. We had to make a couple stops on the way there. But yeah, we spent time there running logistics and running equipment from the bases back and forth within Kuwait.
American soldiers enjoying a karaoke night at one of the biggest U.S. military hubs in the Gulf. That was then. This is now.
That's crazy.
A once bustling American microcity in the desert, nearly empty and heavily damaged after a weeks-long barrage of Iranian missiles and drones. One of many U.S. military facilities in the oil-rich Arabian Peninsula, targeted by Iran even as the U.S. and Israel pummeled the Islamic Republic's large arsenal. So what impact have Iran's strikes had on America's footprint in the Middle East? A CNN investigation found evidence of unprecedented destruction. We can reveal that strikes damaged at least 16 U.S. installations across 8 countries. According to our analysis and sourcing, that's the majority of American military positions in the region, and some of them are virtually unusable now. A U.S. source familiar with the situation told us that they'd never seen anything like this at American bases, that these were rapid, targeted strikes using advanced technology.
I'm gonna do a verbal poll to everybody. All right. How many of you, and I want to know how many people have this shared experience, because I do. How many of you guys sent this news to your conservative family members or friends, and then when they read it or whatever, they said, I didn't hear about that? How many? When you said, hey, our bases are being destroyed, our soldiers are being killed, how many hit you with, I didn't hear about it? I haven't heard about that. We pray for our troops. We pray for the soldiers, though. Don't know nothing about it though.
Iran's main target.
But again, Charlie Kirk being murdered. Oh my God, boy. Oh boy, was it just nonstop texts coming in as if my family member died. Like a member of our family passed away. Charlie Kirk, all day long. Oh, we had to. Oh God, but our own soldiers getting get killed. I want to say they're at war. I don't want to say murdered. Getting killed in a war that no Americans signed up for, actually, except for if you do serve, you're gonna get sent to where the country sends you. But like American voters, left and right, did not sign up for another war in the Middle East. Didn't like, and Trump campaigned actively on not doing this. Like that's like it's one thing. Kamala was, they were helping Israel and were very like grayish about if they were going to continue to do so. Trump outright was like, I'm ending all wars. No more, no new wars. No more funding to anyone else but America. America first. Just literally lied about the whole thing.
Unusable now. A U.S. source familiar with the situation told us that they'd never seen anything like this at American bases, that these were rapid, targeted strikes using advanced technology. Iran's main targets? Multi-million-dollar aircraft, like this Boeing E-3 Sentry, which gave the U.S. a huge amount of visibility over the Gulf. It's out of production, and in today's money, it's worth nearly $500 million. Critical communications equipment. Look at these giant golf balls. They're known as radomes, and they protect satellite dishes vital for data transmission. In this
Camp Arif John.
They're known as radomes, and they protect satellite dishes vital for data transmission. In this base alone, Iran destroyed all but one of the radomes less than a month into the war. And crucially, radar systems. Highly sophisticated, expensive, difficult to replace, and critical to air defense.
So we already spend so much money on our military for just to exist, right? And for defense. But what air defense doing? What American air defense doing? What in the fuck? We spend all this money and then they're asking for more. We'll get to that. I'm going to tell you guys how much more they're going to ask. For what? To suck at war and then have our soldiers killed and our bases obliterated?
Into the war. And crucially, radar systems.
Seems like the U.S. military now can only win if you go in the cover of night and you do a lightning speed operation like quick with special forces, and like that's it. If we get into a prolonged war though, I don't know, I'm worried. I don't know, man. I don't think we have what it takes to fight a conventional war against a country like Iran. Okay, America fights insurgents. Okay, fights dudes in sandals and shorts. When it comes to countries that have ballistic missiles or like their own air defense or control of an entire fucking body of water, and then also like major parts of Iran are locked or hit like inside of a mountain range. Like you got to get over the terrain to even try to. If you wanted to do a land operation into Iran, it would not even work. It says this is fail for something that Americans didn't even ask for or didn't even want. And then they're going to ask for more money.
Highly sophisticated, expensive, difficult to replace, and critical to air defense. A second U.S. source, this one a congressional aide familiar with damage assessments, described these as the most cost-effective of the targets. Our radar systems, they said, are our most expensive and our most limited resource in the region.
For U.S. allies in the region, there's a dilemma. In some ways, Iran's show of force makes the U.S.'s presence in the region even more necessary to Gulf security. But there's a new reality here, which is that U.S. military installations, previously seen as formidable fortresses, have turned into sitting targets. As a Saudi source told me,
maybe on purpose, because like as we've seen, how do you get funding if everything's all good? Everything's all good and gravy and everything's good and sound, which again, we spend enough money to where it should be. How do you how do you get more money if all is well? I don't think you do. So 8 hours ago this morning, they're asking for $1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion. Remember, I don't want to hear a thing from a conservative or Republicans talking about government spending ever again in my entire life. I will literally just like, I will print this tweet in a sign and hold it up. If you're like, the government can't spend money on, then I'm going to hold up the 1.5 trillion sign. No, we can't spend money on kids in schools because that's taxpayer money and that's my money. And then if anything, the thing I continue to tell you guys, which is worrisome, is private corporations replacing our government, right? And our government, not saying that like we're gonna have to choose here soon. Like, do you want a representative government for the people, by the people, which you're gonna need one, or do you want to have corporation control, which we kind of mostly have now? Actually, let's just be honest, we mostly have that, but it's like not full send yet. Like there's still public services and taxpayer funded services that happen, and like our taxpayer funded war. But their whole aim with this is to try to privatize the military and privatize everything. So that way we're paying more because corporations don't lower the cost. If anything, you frequently see that the corporations charge you more than the government fee. More so than not. Like 9 times out of 10. They're going to charge you more and make you pay a subscription fee now. And then there's like 4 tiers of subscriptions you can have now. You can get the premium plus Department of Defense donation plan. And then they'll give you an American flag. You can get the Trump Bible in red, white, and blue. There you go. So they're saying 1.5 trillion is a fiscally responsible investment, you guys. While our Secretary of Defense does videos. Did a YouTube video or something.
A broken Pentagon bureaucracy was doing the same thing for decades. When our warfighters needed more weapons, aircraft, and ships, the Department of Defense allowed contractors to double dip at your expense. They charge you, the taxpayer, to build their factories, and then charge you again for the final product. And despite paying companies to make weapons faster, schedule delays were constant. And cost overruns were the norm. All while their CEOs got rich.
Their CEOs.
But today,
but our CEOs
is flipping this rigged system on its head.
Yeah, with the AI.
We're not tolerating delays in production or cost overruns anymore. We've pushed out the bureaucrats who've made these deals in the past and replaced them with the most talented negotiators in the private sector. A group of business.
DepSec Wharf. You want to talk about acronyms? DepSec War.
Men so elite, they've been rightly dubbed Deal Team 6.
And we having fun. Deal Team 6, guys.
Deal Team.
There they are. There's 5 people in the. Where's the 6? Where's the 6th one? Is it you?
6. It's simple. We're putting the American taxpayer first by offering you a better deal. We now move at the speed of business, not bureaucracy.
We're moving at the speed of business, guys.
Now, when a defense company expands its production to sell more equipment to the U.S. military, they pay the bill. They pay for new factories, assembly lines, manufacturing plants, not.
Yeah, because they're going to have a return that's going to pay them more than what they're paying for. What are we talking about? Oh, the corporations are going to take the burden away from the government and away from the taxpayer. Yeah, because they're going to be making money. Because like that cost of building the building and shit, well, it pales in comparison to how much money they're going to make off of weapon and arms production, especially when you're trying to increase the budget to 1.5 trillion. So if anything, the taxpayers are just going to be paying for these corporations to get richer. Harder though, like we already do, but now harder in the Defense Department. Isn't that fun? You having fun?
The taxpayer. In exchange, we're giving these companies steady, long-term orders for exactly what our warriors need.
Yeah. They're going to pay the cost. They're getting long-term deals, though. So we can just keep them around, and then they'll for sure make money. He's trying to sell stupid people as if, like, oh, they're just going to come and just continue to lose money. They rely on people to have, like, a stupid business brain. But it's like, in this country, it's all about making money and making more of it. Nobody that's a billionaire is satisfied and like, oh, actually, you know what? I've made enough money. That's plenty. I'm done. Are you joking? Be so serious.
Our warriors need. And defense companies are making things in higher volumes.
Yeah, that's the cost for taxpayers.
Much more quickly while keeping their prices flat.
Keeping the prices flat.
Should these companies fail to deliver?
Yeah, and then you show it says flat, but you literally even show a squiggly line. That's just funny. That's just the irony of this.
Keeping their prices flat.
That's such a flat line. But it's kind of flat. See, it doesn't go up that much, but what flat line is that? In what world is that a flat line?
Should these companies fail to deliver, we will hold them accountable and bring in new.
Yeah.
Deliver.
This looks like the Republican Party, though.
We will hold them accountable and bring in new companies.
Is that Matt Walsh in the front?
Who will?
Very woke of you.
Speed, volume, and fiscal responsibility. It's common sense, and it's what the American taxpayer demands.
American taxpayer demanded no more wars in the Middle East. That's why a giant chunk of our country, stupid, voted for Donald Trump. But for sure, sell them on. That's what's wild. We're gonna, yeah. Listen, taxpayers voted for our dumb fuck administration because we said we're gonna make the cost of living better and no new wars. Hey, the same people that voted for us. How about we ask for 1.5 trillion for the military? Yay! Isn't that fun? The same people. Like, I get it. Like, I understand our two-party system and everything. Voting Republican is literally voting to like end your life. You know what I mean? Like, period. Like, I understand people that are like standoffish about voting Democrat, that are on the left, that are people that are leftward, but like voting Republican at all is like a death sentence for every single person that isn't a billionaire or a millionaire on their way. Actually, like a well-connected millionaire. Anyone else that like below that is like you're getting sent to a wood chipper, basically.
Demands. This War Department has made the move from bureaucracy to business.
Not a soul that is in the working class, period. Like, the litigation should be over people that are on the left. Looking to the right wing, if you're in the working class, is like clown show. Clown. Like, wear a clown hat.
Over the next month, we will release a series of videos that highlight how President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion defense budget will make a generational investment in our arsenal of freedom.
1.5.
This investment will secure and protect the homeland and ensure America's military remains the most lethal fighting force on Earth for generations to come. We're going to spend every dollar of that money responsibly.
So lethal, they had to beg for help. It's sad because, like, I served in the military. I respect the soldiers that served, but I'm like starting to respect the commands and like the way in which we wage wars, like, incredibly less. Because it's so like there's nothing here for any like this. We're not preserving freedom for Americans. We're helping Israel expand its territory. That's it. This doesn't help Americans whatsoever. We continue to shill out more and more money every year. That doesn't help. It does nothing. Like, our potholes being fixed. Are the weeds, overgrown weeds in the road gone? Old decrepit buildings, how are those doing? Infrastructure from 1973 still going? How's that? Bridges still from 1984? Just now getting updated because, like, they collapse in America? Like, bridges get updated after they collapse and people die. That's what causes. Oh, we're gonna. How did it was a radical, fucking restoration in Maryland? Remember that one? All that money, we don't spend it on what we need. We spend it on this. Look at this. What is this? What is this now? B-21 Raider combined field test. 180-day test plan, 11.8 billion. Wow. The new War Department, ahead of schedule and under budget. What a sell. 11.8 bill for a UFO. That's good. Then they'll fly that around rural areas, and then they can cook MAGA into thinking there's aliens for real. Northrop Grumman. There you go. Fly that over the most rural areas possible, and then inject alien UFO propaganda into the right-wing cycle, and it'll validate people's beliefs. Very easy. Hell yeah, bro. Very simple work. Easy. Holy shit. Did he ask for more money today? So they want 1.5 trillion for Israel, because it's for Israel. And he wants $1 billion for the ballroom now. I thought it was like 100 and some million.
Because the United States can't take care of daycare. That has to be up to a state. We can't take care of daycare. We're a big country. We have 50 states. We have all these other people. We're fighting wars. We can't take care of daycare. You got to let a state take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make.
They have to raise their taxes. Oh boy. Like libertarians walk out of the room. I don't even want to see you. Get the hell out of here. Walk out now. Yep. You know what? I know what conservatives like, raising taxes. Nobody likes that. But like the right wing specifically campaigns on lowering taxes. Every single thing the right wing has ever said or stood for, Donald Trump has shown its whole ass to be a lie. Like, this guy has ruined all Republican politics for a long time. Because he's shown the lies out loud. And like in the right wing, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're supposed to never admit defeat, but you're not supposed to expose the silliness of it all, or the hypocrisy of it, or like campaign on one thing and then literally come out and be like, oh, actually, yeah, war and increase of taxes.
Take care of daycare, and they should pay for it too. They should pay. They have to raise their taxes, but they should pay for it. And we could lower our taxes a little bit to them to make up. But it's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things.
Individual things. We can't take care of the kids. Listen, American families. We can't take care of we ain't doing shit for you, dude. Hey, you want to start a family in this country? We got to send 1.5 trillion to Israel. What do you mean? You want the government to help you? Nah, man. We need 1.5 trill. We need to get a new Black Hawk. We got to get to F-47, guys. Come on, the F-47. You want to start yeah, here you go. Come on, guys. You need more money to spend on this. So the Secretary of War terminated the review of this event, in which you had a taxpayer funded, again, the same 1.5 trillion they're asking for. This was funded by taxpayers to go to Kid Rock's house. And it was, so here, I received your April 1st, 2026 letter requesting the Department of War Office Inspector General investigate the use of a military helicopter to fly over a No Kings protest and then to the home of musician Kid Rock. The Secretary of War has the legal authority to terminate an administrative review by any commander of a military unit and, at his discretion, assume jurisdiction over the matter himself. Consent with legal authority as of March 31st, 2026. Post on the X social media platform, Secretary Hegseth indicated that he had decided not to pursue this matter. My office will not investigate the Secretary's decision. Thank you for your interest. If you have questions, please contact Mr. Jard Byrne, Assistant Inspector General for Legislative Affairs, blah, 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 blah. So rejected a leftist group demand that he investigate Apache helicopters. There you go. So the people that cry about waste, fraud, and abuse have no problem with taxpayer-funded military equipment going to a rich fucking musician's house. But it's okay because he's MAGA, so it's okay, right? It's okay though. We don't support Hollywood, but we like our Hollywood. We like our rich fucking people. Not embarrassing. So you get embarrassing. Those pilots should be ashamed of themselves. The best thing those pilots can do is literally like get out of the military. That's the best thing they can do. Patriotic pilots. You're gonna turn the American people. The Nick Sorters and others are gonna turn the American people against the military, and single-handedly. Because who the fuck is gonna call this patriotic? What normal person would call this patriotic? A normal person. There's nothing patriotic about flying that fucking helicopter to Kid Rock's mansion, to Aura Farm. Aura Farm, we're owning the libs. We're spending millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded military equipment, in which we're now asking more money to own the libs. Do we love that? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we can't afford eggs. Let's send an Apache to Kid Rock's house. Fuck yeah. America. It's the America I want to live in. What kind of America worth protecting. Fuck. Epstein Island attendees, Kid Rock. Come on, what else do you want, dude? What else do you need? Worth protecting. 1.5 trillion. Come on, guys. Come on down. 1.5 trillion. Worth protecting. Holy. Come on, guys. Don't you care? Don't you care about America? We need 1.5 trillion. 1.5 trillion at minimum. So another one of her strategies is to try to split the family. So apparently there's another daughter, and they're like, there's like some internal family beef. And so because these people are fucking savage, they're trying to use that as a position. So that'll be fun for them. Probably not. Today's a national day of prayer. Not a single prayer is heard by the Lord and Savior of Christianity or whatever. Not a single right-wing prayer is heard that supports Donald Trump. Jesus told me, actually. He came down and said, this is what I have to say about MAGA that prays. And he rejects every single prayer. I just want you to know that. You can hear it from me first. What else we got? What other bullshit? I think I missed something. Oh, yeah. So this is Marco Rubio on the situation in Iran as a whole and what he said yesterday at the White House.
And I think it's a real test for the UN, right? As something that functions that can solve global problems.
Right.
What is the purpose of the UN? The UN was supposed to be a place where you could peacefully resolve global conflict.
Right.
Right now you have a country who is unlawfully, criminally, and illegally taking possession of an international waterway and blowing up commercial vessels and putting mines in the water.
Wow, who would do that? Who would blow up vessels? What type of country? What the heck? What type of country would murder its own citizens and cover it up? And then what do you say? Blow random boats out of the water. What the hell? What kind of civilized country does that?
Up commercial vessels and putting mines in the water. I don't know if people appreciate like how outrageous this is, how unacceptable it is that any country would fire and try to sink commercial vessels or put mines in the water. Both of these things are illegal. And so we're going to take it to the UN, and we're going to give it another chance to be a forum in which we're not even asking people like commit troops to the region and help blow up the Iranian boats. All we're asking them to do is to condemn it, to call on Iran to stop blowing ships, to remove these mines and to allow humanitarian relief to come through because there's humanitarian aid that's trapped. That's it. This is a very modest request. And if you're telling me that the international community and hundreds of countries cannot rally behind that, then I don't know what the utility of the UN system is if it can't even solve something as straightforward as that.
Guys, we just want words, okay? Hey, I know that not a single country wanted to come help America with its boogaloo in the Strait of Hormuz, but we just need like thoughts and prayers. Anything, guys? We need a condemnation at the UN. Also, this is Marco Rubio on what the mission in Iran is now. Okay, so if you guys are wondering, because I know maybe some of you guys are flipping back and forth, is Steve covering it still? Is he holding it down? Yeah, he's holding it down. Holding strong.
Iran says that
W. Steve. Okay, holding it down. Still covering the latest in Iran. Okay, but if you guys are wondering, like, our position as a country and what we're doing next, Marco Rubio had this to say a couple days ago.
As President Trump has said, and the facts clearly bear out, the United States of America holds all the cards. There is no scenario here in which if they decide to join a ladder of escalation, they wind up getting the last say. But our preference is for these straits to be opened to the way they're supposed to be opened, back to the way it was. Anyone can use it, no mines in the water, nobody paying tolls. That's what we have to get back to, and that's the goal here.
Back to the way it was. Guys, hey, listen, just pretend none of that happened. Pretend all that didn't happen. Okay? We still hold the cards. We got all the cards. We have the cards. But pretend that all that, like, just the Men in Black thing. Oops. We just need to, all we wanted, hey, how can you be against just putting it back to how it was? Are you really going to stand against Trump like that? Trump can't do no good. They want to put it back. They want to put it back. I shouldn't laugh. It's dark humor. But it sucks because, like, we spent so much money with soldiers. 13 soldiers died. Okay, all for this. Let's put it back to the way it was. Because we got our ass kicked. And there's no goal. This is literally the funniest moment in the history of American foreign policy. Let's just put it back, guys.
As President Trump has said, and the facts clearly bear out, the United States of America holds all the cards. There is no scenario here.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah, I thought you wanted the war to end. That's the gaslight. MAGA will go, oh, I thought you were against war. I thought you wanted it to end. Are you not happy it's over? Because that's MAGA brain.
In which, if they decide to join a ladder of escalation, they wind up getting the last say. But our preference is for these straits to be opened to the way they're supposed to be opened, back to the way it was.
Back to the way it was.
No mines in the water.
Anyone can use it.
Nobody paying tolls.
Yeah, Iran. Yeah, we want to just our bad. Oops. I know we killed the Ayatollah and we bombed your capital city, but like, hey, listen, we're willing to commit to. We need the UN to say you're bad for sure. The UN needs to condemn you, but then let's come on now. Let's get the shipping lanes open. Come on. Let's get this back to normal. Pretend like we didn't just do all that. I don't think it's gonna go well for him. I don't think it's gonna go too well. U.S. strikes 2 locations in Iran. Oh, okay, so I guess it's not going back to normal.
Developments in the war against Iran, with word now just into us that the U.S. military has hit 2 locations in Iran near the Strait of Hormuz. We've got a map made, I think, where we can show you these locations. You see them here. A U.S. official tells our team that these strikes were defensive.
Oh, they're defensive.
Defensive strikes doesn't mean the U.S. is picking back up combat operations.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Is in Tel Aviv,
where we're hitting bases, but like we're not doing combat for sure.
Which I think is
special military operation.
Super important here, Matt, because I think people hear, okay, new strikes against Iran. Does this mean that the hot war is back on? Help us understand the difference now between these
it's an alternative war.
Strikes and why they happen and what we know about them versus the alternative.
Well, Hallie, I think that only the Trump administration really knows the difference between those two kinds of strikes, because we've been seeing back and forth different messaging. Obviously, since all of this began in late February, there had been all this talk, all this concern over the past week that with 3 aircraft carrier strike groups in the region, the most in years, that there was going to be a resumption of hostilities as long as these negotiations didn't work out. So you could be forgiven for thinking that these strikes might be the U.S. going back to war with Iran. But as you said, it doesn't look like U.S. officials are saying that to NBC News. They're going out of their way to say that these were defensive, that this is not restarting the war, and that those Gulf countries, particularly Saudi Arabia, which NBC News had reported was the one who really stood in front of that Operation Freedom that the President Trump had kind of laid out as a way to try to free some of those cargo ships and other vessels from the Strait of Hormuz. The president went back on that, and it looks like, from what we're hearing now from U.S. officials and from other reporters who have been talking to U.S. officials like Fox News, who broke this story just a moment ago, that they're seeing that this is not going to be restarting the war, and that this is basically possibly part of that pressure by those Gulf countries, by American allies in the region who are now very much in the crosshairs of the Iranians, and that this strike might have been retaliation for those Iranian attacks against some of those Gulf states over the past week. Again,
yeah, that means it's still going. What a bunch of cope. What a bunch of words. And guys, listen, I know, but it was just retaliation to the retaliation. So they had to do it. They had to strike back, but it's not, no, listen, I know these are alternative bombs, alternative missiles, like, just the games they play with this shit, dude. We have a ceasefire where we're told that the ceasefire is still on, but bases are being hit. Should you have Kamala Harris speaking about the stakes of the election? Do we really? Why though? Like, yeah, I get it. Like, get out the vote stuff, but please don't run. Please don't. Please do not. Oh, there you go. Tehran accuses U.S. of violating the ceasefire. Yeah, it's back. The U.S. says it carried out retaliatory strikes. So is the Strait of Hormuz closed now? It's open. It's closed. It's open. The U.S. continues blockade. Okay, so the blockade's on. So even though Marco Rubio was like, the goal of the war is to restore it. Today, the goal is to block it and retaliatory strikes. Okay, definitely. We definitely love this. Every day it's different. At least it's like Elon said, right? At least it's interesting or whatever dumb shit he said. And right-wingers loved it. Oh, at least we live in interesting times. Oh, good one, Elon. Yeah, you're so right. So right. So, yeah, the ceasefire is done. And the Truth Social post we brought you not long ago. What did he say? What is Trump saying on Truth today? Three world-class American destroyers just transited very successfully out of the Strait of Hormuz under fire. There was no damage to the 3 destroyers, but great damage done to Iranian attack. That's okay. So there was probably damage to the destroyers. They were completely destroyed, along with numerous small boats, which are being used to take the place of their fully decapitated navy. They're decapitated navy, but they're still fighting for sure. The boats went to the bottom of the sea quickly and efficiently. Missiles were shot at our destroyers, and they were knocked down. Likewise, drones, and were incinerated while in the air. Iran sucks. We beat them bad, but we're getting our ass kicked too. They dropped ever so beautifully down the ocean, very much like a butterfly dropping its grave. A normal country would have allowed these destroyers to pass, but Iran is not a normal country. They are led by lunatics. And if they had the chance to use a nuclear weapon, they would, without question. but they'll never have that opportunity. And just like we knocked them out today, we'll knock them out a lot harder and a lot more violently in the future if they don't get their deal signed fast. Our 3 destroyers with their wonderful crews will now rejoin our naval blockade. Wow. Extremely stable genius. Following 20,000 people. That is insane. Holy shit. How do you even do that? Just start randomly following people? Just AI. This is Truth Social. There's only one pride flag in this country, and it's red, white, and blue. AI generated Trump assassination attempt. The American flag is not just fabric, it's blood, sweat, and sacrifice. So you AI generated it. Or AI generated Border Patrol agents. I'm with 2011 Facebook memes where they took out the creator and just put MAGA over it. I'm with the side that doesn't chant death to America. Why is it a lion, though? More AI generated shit. If the White House Correspondents' Dinner was held in the ballroom, the shooter would have never gained access to the building. Build the ballroom. Yeah, everyone. Think about it. This is MAGA world. If you don't love it, leave it. Okay? Fact. Not a single country has gotten better because of third world Muslim immigration. They have all gotten far worse. What the hell is this? Iran funded Hezbollah. Iran funded Hamas. These 2 idiots funded Iran. Trump fixed it to FAFO. Just memes. No original thoughts. This is who responds to the president, guys. It's a whole social media niche. Real people don't like respond to Trump. It's like it's all bots and memes. The year is 2032, and Trump just won another 4-year term as POTUS, 49 after 27 impeachments. We like that. Hell yeah. 4,000 likes. But people respond to this one. Hilarious meme to cause more leftist wailing and tears. Great fun. There are no leftists on this platform. Not a single leftist is on Truth Social. What is happening? Hell yeah, this will own the libs. That's what right wing world is like, just memes and like, hell yeah, this one will own the libs. I'm gonna post this in my little group. My little group will find this funny. The year is 2032, and Trump is still saying the Iran war will be another 2 to 3. That was funny. That's funny. I finally found a funny Truth Social comment. There you go. That was good. Oh, there is some pushback on Truth Social. It looks like Trump is a major loser. The greatest president was Andrew Jackson. Okay, that's what we're working with here. Wow. Help. Just slop. Just slop. Yeah, what happened to that? Why doesn't his ear? Why does he have no ear damage still? Slop. President Trump has not just carried the Republican Party on his back for a decade. He's carrying the... Yeah, show this to my MAGA followers that cope whenever I say Trump's been in power for 10 years. And MAGA go, nuh-uh. Biden was president. Trump was in power of the Republican Party. When Biden was president, Trump had world leaders coming to Mar-a-Lago. Republicans could literally do nothing without going to Mar-a-Lago and getting his approval. They literally could not be politicians without him. Nuh-uh, Trump hasn't been in power. He was supposed to win in 2020, but Democrats took it away. Trump's genius blockade is working. So the Iranian ships are a part of the American fleet? Or what is this AI saying here? The art of the deal. Women for Trump. Wow. Jesus is my king. Trump is my president. The Lord is working through him. Let's win a fourth time. The greatest president. Wow, Jesus Christ. This is the cover photo. The greatest president ever. Trump 2028. Yes. There will never be anyone like him again. Read Truth if you support a constitutional amendment allowing Trump to run for a third term as president. 58,000 followers. This one actually doesn't follow a fuckload of people, actually. What type of followers you got here? The Hensley Mama. Only they can see their full list. Epoch Times. That makes sense. Someone from the Epoch Times follows this. Jesus never fails. Promoting the Melania film. Us. Oh, this one hasn't posted in a while. Donald Trump has changed the world for the better. God is using Trump like he used King Cyrus in the Bible.
God is using Trump just like he used King Cyrus in the Bible, a powerful leader who wasn't necessarily religious, but still fulfilled divine prophecy.
Hold on, I don't know about all that now. Now I gotta listen, there's a big advantage if you can destroy conservative Christians in debates. And you don't even have to be religious. You don't have to believe in that shit. Just like know it. That's all you gotta do. And it's just like a free win. Because they're gonna try to play God and religion. And so there's something up with King Cyrus. I can't remember though. I don't think this is right at all though. But that's why it sucks not having this to be like, nah, the Bible actually says this. I can't remember though. But I don't know. I think that's wrong. More slop. FAFO. The same thing. It's the same shit. We need this ballroom. So they all just repost the same stuff. The golden age of Trump. Oh, and yes, by the way, this is MAGA too. Don't let them ever tell you that they're not like this. This is what they are. The Strait of Trump. That's what wow, look at this meme. What the fuck, yo? That's what winning looks like. America first. Sweet, beautiful, cheap oil. It's so sweet and so beautiful and so cheap that we're paying nearly $5 a gallon for it. Obliterated. Wow, what is that? Why is Trump looks like fucking Cheeto dust, actually. If Cheeto dust was put together and made an image of Trump. What the fuck? Looks like a granola bar. What the hell is going on there? Dude, so epic. Wow, is this Donald Trump? Well, because Mark Hamill triggered him. So you got to put Trump as actually Qui-Gon Jinn. No, this is Kenobi. So you have him as Kenobi, and Mark Hamill's in jail. They didn't like what Mark Hamill had to say on X, you guys. Luke Skywalker. Yeah, there you go. Luke Skywalker. Nobody makes MAGA more mad than Luke Skywalker. He's one sick individual. Luke Skywalker, the radical left lunatic, just can't help himself. Is it there? Did he take it down? I hope he didn't delete it. I think he deleted it then. Or was it in a response? It's on his Blue Sky. Nice. Got to go to the different platforms. They're not happy. I'm spelling his name wrong. What am I doing wrong? Oh, it's one on M. My bad. My bad. There you go. They did not like that. Dang, he's cooking them on here. On set. What about you? Oh, did he delete it? Once the right wing comes for you, they come for you. Edit for clarity. He should live long enough to be held accountable for his crimes. Anyways, I was wishing him the opposite of dead, but apologize if you found the image inappropriate. Lame. He should live long enough to witness his inevitable devastating loss in the midterms, be held accountable for his unprecedented corruption, impeached, convicted, and humiliated for his countless crimes, long enough to realize he'll be disgraced in the history books forevermore. Okay. Well, either way, MAGA was not happy with that. Did he cried? No. So that's just a taste of what MAGA world is like in 2026. It's just all AI and memes and not really knowing what's going on. Because AI, like scientists are working to create hantavirus vaccine. What the hell does that even mean? What in the world? Why are they putting numbers on their shoulders? Damn, look at George Washington out there with the AR-15, dude. What the heck? Wow. It truly is like Trump riding the Velociraptor with M60's energy right now. Pass the Save America Act. America is in good hands. Ew, who is that though? Kind of, I don't think that's like AI generated JD. Who's shaking his hand? What's going on? Crazy. That's definitely not. I don't know who that is though. It's not JD Vance. Iran's current military, a couple of dudes in a boat with an RPG. Oh, that's single-handedly holding back the entire like in the United States. So. Peace through strength. What in the hell is this? Operation Epic Fury is a stellar military operation. We have destroyed Iran's Air Force, Navy, missile capabilities, and leaders. God bless our military. Thank you for your service. Us. It's like the same people. Like, if you guys noticing, it's like the same accounts. Chicken Gizzards. Hi, I'd like a wake-up call. All the gun violence is coming from the left. In response to war posts is crazy. It's his straight. They all know it. We all know it. It's his. Holding pocket energy. Slop. Well, there you go. There's your MAGA moment to show you guys what MAGA is doing. We said when they're not trolling my comment sections in live chat, that's what they're doing. They're posting memes and being and sharing AI slop, which is picking up even more so. You guys want to see the latest one they did with me? And like they hit it too. It was like a whole back and forth on Facebook. Well, then we'll get to the latest in Tennessee because I think that news is important. Let me see. Is it still gone? They put it to private. Let me put it in the discussion channel because I got the screenshot of it. But it's gonna go into my series of AI and the right wing, and they want to cope and say no, it was just because of softball. But no, it's like I make a specific group of men in the softball community upset because I'm not MAGA. And I stand against it. And that makes conservative men very unhappy. They do not want to see you speaking, let alone speaking against Trump. So this was the latest one, if you guys might have missed it. Okay, but again, they apparently it was only supposed to be like a temporary AI generated image. And not like, but because it's still there, but you got to be friends with the person, I guess, to see it still. I don't know. They got cooked. They got cooked. All I did, I shared this on my page, like, hey, we appreciate all of our fans. And like this post got flooded with hundreds of comments. It was crazy. So I think that's why. So I put a post out. I was feeling good after I got home after softball on Tuesday, which I did. I played softball 3 nights in a row this week. Haven't done that in a long time because I do this with you guys. You know, I'm covering current events. Yeah, you know, just covering stuff that's happening. Like softball is a hobby. Okay, it's not really like my full-time thing. A lot of people in softball though, it's their full-time thing. They don't have anything else. They don't have shit else but to go out and play softball, and that's fine. Good for you. I'm glad you found something that you can do and stand out in. But it's like probably my 3rd or 4th hobby down the line now at this point. Not really like a top thing in my life. So I posted out like, hey, and he quoted it. Playing softball 3 nights in a row for the first time in 6+ years. I've now hit multiple home runs and I'm mashing the ball at the plate in general. I really needed this after a brutal winter documenting Operation Metro Surge. Thank you to my buddies for inviting me out to play. I'm making myself available this summer to any team that needs a guy for tournaments. When I'm not covering the impacts of the administration, I want to touch grass as much as possible. It's how I will survive. True. I play at the D level mostly, but I can handle C competition. True statement. Right. And in Minnesota, you have a bunch of losers that should play at the C level permanently, or like even B. Some of them are really, really good. They should go up to B level, but they play at the D level because that's where you get wins, because you want to stack championships, you want to stack rings. And so in adult sports, you have what's called sandbagging, in which you have a rating, right? When you play sports, at least in softball, you get a personal rating, and that also prevents people from going down into lower levels and just killing everyone in the game, obviously, right? Like destroying, because you like at the E level or beer league, like you might have maybe 1 or 2 athletes on the team, but it's like people that just want to go out and hit the ball and have fun and drink beer, because you're literally taught it's an underhand ball. Like someone's got a fucking ball, they're throwing it underhand to you and you hit it, and that's it. But for some people, this is their entire life. Okay, they have nothing else going for them. So like this sport, like they live for it every day. So, you know, I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get back out there because I managed a team in 2022. Like I had one softball team in the state of Minnesota that was a sanctioned team. It was the Snack Squad. Shout out to everybody that supported that team and watched our streams. Behind the scenes, it was a fucking nightmare to run that team. Grown men that can't manage, and I know I struggle with my own schedule, but when I commit to something though, or like when I'm like going to be at something, or like, you know, if I'm hey guys, we got coverage coming up, like we're doing that, right? Or like when it comes to extracurriculars, I let people know if I can't make it. Like, hey, I can't be there. Yeah, I can't be there. On this team, dudes wouldn't even say shit. They wouldn't even say, oh, I'm sorry. Or they like, we're at the fields. Oh, I'm sorry, I overslept. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come. My ex-girlfriend's there. My ex-girlfriend's there. She intimidates me. I can't come. I don't want to be there. Or in tournament softball, you pay money to play. It's not like free. It's not free. So you usually want to go there trying to win, right? Usually, because you do win money, but also you're paying to play. So you're trying to put your best foot forward. And if you're trying to compete, you're usually getting there to like warm up, stretch, play catch, batting practice, like preparing, getting dialed in for the tournament. That's what sports is. That's what anything you're doing, actually, you should have that type of mentality. But for sports, you usually want to be ready to go and like be dialed in, especially for a tournament. And my team did not want to do that. They like barely wanted to come, barely wanted to show up. They'll show up for the games, but for like practicing and getting better and batting practice, people didn't want to do that. They don't want to do that at all. And when it came to people that would suck, you know, I would bench them and put a different player in, and they didn't like that either. And so that like created this whole situation in which like my team felt a certain type of way because I don't know, maybe because I didn't have experience in U-Trip like that, but I'm managing a team. We did well. We won a tournament. We did win a championship. But like, you know, I'm just some guy that, you know, I played baseball, but I'm not well connected in the softball community. people liked me at the time because I didn't say what I felt and like I could play, but like they didn't really like, they don't like that I'm vocally political. That's what it is. They don't like that I'm political. And also like during that summer of 2022, Russia had invaded Ukraine. Okay. And I was like, for my full-time job, I was covering that war. Okay. Every day. And you guys that have been around forever know. And I ended up going to Ukraine multiple times the following year. So I didn't even have much time for softball in 2023. But like 2022, I did because I was just at home covering the war. And I'm like, I do not have the time to manage grown men that can't maintain a schedule, that can't communicate like where you're at and like if you're going to show up on time or whatever, that don't want to put any effort into practicing to like get our team better, because we were like we were a team that a bunch of people that weren't playing on other teams came to play, and like we had to figure it out because I just started the team and people wanted to play. Other teams have been playing together for years and they have camaraderie, they have experience. We don't have that. It's just a bunch of randoms. And it was a fucking nightmare. It was more stress than it was to go out and have fun playing softball. And I quit the team. I did. I quit. I didn't finish the end of the season. They want to cope and say that they quit me, but I quit them because I left the chat. We had a group, we had a team chat and everything. I left it because fuck that. I regret that now though. I wouldn't have looking back now, 4 years later, I would have finished the season, but I wouldn't have managed again. I wouldn't have managed that group again, but I shouldn't have quit. But I was just between the war and this bullshit, I didn't have time for it. And I literally just walked away. I walked away. And so obviously that pissed some people off because like, yeah, I quit and didn't want to do it anymore. But ever since then, I've had this echelon of the softball community, this like right-wing male dominated thing, try to roast me for everything now. Like, cause like they want I think it's cause they're like really like me actually. And they don't have anything going for this house, like they said, and I can play softball and I could be around that group of people. But like I said, I also have other things going on for myself. A lot of these guys don't. They don't have fuck else. This is all they have. And so maybe they see me as like invading their space, their safe space. I think that's really what it is with my non-quiet, ignorant, conservative opinions. Okay. That's what it is. I'm a threat to that. I'm a threat to their little sanctimonious space and their little safe space. Okay. So this is going to go along in the series of right-wing slop AI generated content that they're using to come at me with. And it's not just like the softball men. It's obviously I got like little right-wing political activists. I got Zach X. I got fucking randoms on X too. It's just it's kind of funny how the very people that were like so against the internet back in the day. Okay. And you got to remember this. And if you're younger than me, you never had this reality, but back in the day, the right wing was against the internet. And they were like, oh, you could get in trouble on there. They really tried to restrict it, tried to censor entertainment content left and right in terms of like video games and like Doom or Mortal Kombat or Grand Theft Auto was canceled because of like the morality police on the right wing and how we can't have our society and our young men watching that shit. Okay. And so it's so funny, the people that were so against the internet and using it and connecting that way are now utilizing it at its worst. Because this is the internet at its worst. This is bad. Okay, and it's like, you want to make a roast about me, it's fine. I got really nice calves in this picture, I guess. This character looks nothing like me though. These aren't Meta glasses either. They're just regular Ray-Bans. Like, I've never worn Meta glasses before. But I don't know, it's like, it's one thing to roast. They put a cross on me too. It's interesting. But like all this was like trying to, I mean, they're trying to provoke me is really what this is. Because the whole notes from the field is like, you don't come out and fight us. Right? Read it. The notes from the field. All talk, zero backup. Not sure what that means because I go everywhere. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Or like I go to the coverage that I go to. Threatens to beat up larger men online. That's not a thing. I've had larger men challenge me to a fight on Facebook because I write Trump sucks, and because they feel personally attacked by that, they challenge me to a fight. That's what happens. That definitely happens. Hides in person is wicked. I definitely don't do that. I don't hide. I'm out there. I'm 10 toes down out there. Stop playing softball and out of fear and weakness. I haven't. I've been continue to play softball just away from toxic masculinity bullshit, I guess, and toxic male circles like this dumb fuck community. Has never been on a C team. Never claimed to be on a C team. I believe it says can handle C competition because again, that's and then the responses on this were, well, if you can handle C competition, why don't you go stand at third base and I'll hit the ball at you? You fucking, I don't play third base. I play outfield. They were trying to like, bro, they were coming at me, you guys. They were seriously coming at me with like all types of male toxicity bullshit that like I've been through my whole life. And it doesn't really affect me at this point anymore, especially now that I have a platform and I can use it to show you guys what these people are like. But also because if a lot of people that are right wing get stuck because they don't have a place to go, and then all of their friends do this to them, or like because all these people, I like this Oosh Longball was on my fucking team. He's one of my players. He was on my softball team. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys the team. All these, I know this. That's what makes this more interesting to me, is because I know these dudes personally. It's one thing if it's like randoms on the internet, right? Like whatever. But like another thing, like I know these dudes personally for years, for a long time. They knew me before I started Mercado Media, before I do this stream shit. There's our team when we won the championship. Here's Oosh Longball. This is Oosh Longball right fucking here. Okay? Fucking Joe Danforth. Just a big dork, honestly. Like goes up there and like he's called Oosh Longball because when he hits home runs, he makes a loud oosh noise. Or he says oosh out loud and the whole fucking field hears it. Whatever. Okay, this is a photo of us winning though, because that's all we fucking really did was win. Or when we did lose, it was close. Like we fought. We had a good team. We had a good team. Our team was good. We had a fucking really good team. Just bad attitudes, and nobody wanted to really try beyond like just showing up to the fucking games. Which if you actually do play softball and want to win, that's not good enough. You're not going to win against the actual good teams that are like that play together. Look, we all have different fucking jerseys on, bro. Like some of these dudes were just subbing with us for this tournament. We didn't even have like our full team there, as was the frequent problem with running that team. Guys just not showing up. So it's very interesting, you know, looking back at some of the social circles I used to be a part of, and how a lot of those dudes who have not changed at all, they've had zero personal development. They haven't left their biased beliefs on life. All they do is want to go play softball and not think at all. Want to go out to hit the ball. I want to go hit ball, catch ball, and not use my brain. I like doing that too on the field. When I go home though, I'm activating my brain again. When I leave that field, I'm going to turn my brain back on to normal things. And like I can lock in on a softball game, but it's important to know what the fuck's happening out here. So I think I'm going to put that in a long list of series of AI generated roasts at me, which really aren't roasts. It's really trying to like, you know, go beyond that. But at the end of the day, it hopefully will help other conservatives that are trying to leave these type of circles, because I have my own community. Like tonight we're playing God of War. I play on multiple other softball teams now away from all this shit. So I don't have to deal with this anymore. But other people probably do, especially nowadays, especially now. Because you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be leaving whatever, or not being right-wing anymore, or whatever, and they're not going to have anywhere to go, or they're not going to know what to do, because you're going to lose all your friends. Then they're all going to turn on you. You're going to lose family members. What else happens? You lose opportunities. When you go to the opportunities, you get socially ridiculed. So you could be there. Like you could get invited, or like at best you'll have friends that you thought were your friends, but like they're gonna like co-sign on the people that are shitting on you. Does that make sense? Like people that you think that you were close to, but the big toxic group that you're leaving, they will like not, they won't take your side. They'll like, but they won't be against the people either. They'll kind of just, you know, add more fuel to the fire and then just say, oh, you can't take a joke. It was just jokes. They're doing that every Wednesday. They're doing it every Wednesday, so it's funny. Funny for like if you're in high school, I guess. Like it's super funny, and I guess that's what it is. I do like playing sports, but there's a point like as an adult in which you realize a lot of the people there are like trying to live their high school glory days still, and that's what they had, and they're athletes and they're good. They're good at sports, pretty dang good at sports. Did never not good enough to make it professional, but that doesn't mean they're not, you know, athletes and good at sports. But a lot of it is they haven't left that mentality, and that's again as an adult. Besides living the life we have to live, paying bills and going to work, that is the one thing they have and the only thing they have. They don't have fuck else. So when they see some person like me who has other shit going on, and I come into their little space and I have something to provide, which I do. This is what I have to provide softball. Because you can say, okay, well, what do you provide, Mercado? Like, what do you provide to the game? Okay, well, I try to manage. Oh, I don't manage anymore, thank God. I sponsor, though, and put money into the sport. I put a lot of money into the sport. But I have what's called broadcastability, and what a lot of leagues are looking for now, and what a lot of teams are looking for. I know how to do this on a stream. And like when you're playing a game, I can have a fucking scoreboard. I can have your player up there. I can have your sponsors on the screen. And I'm probably one of the only ones in the state that know how to do this, except for like people that are in like the U's right now at the high school level, because high school coaches are on this. When it comes to adult recreational or even at the tournament level, hell no. They're up there just they're putting their phone. It's jank as fuck. No one knows how to do this. I'm not teaching them either. Unless I'm cut in, because this shit took me a long time to learn how to do. Yeah, it's just softball. It's not even baseball. That's how ridiculous this is. Acting like a good old boy chud over a sport in which you throw the fucking thing underhand. And dude, grown men hitting an underhand ball. Isn't it crazy? But we're going to act like good old boys. Fucking, oh God, it's so bad. And the women in the softball community are leaving in droves too. They're getting the fuck out of that. At least on the where these people are from. A lot of these players play in the same leagues or like play for the same teams, and they're all friends. It's like literally like this just group. I'll fucking name them one by one. They keep playing around. Not going to yet, but they keep playing around. I will. By name. You guys will know every single character in that bumfuck community. I promise you. And they're picking the wrong one at this point. Especially now. Bro, don't fuck around. But like, yeah, I can provide a nice broadcast of the game, whether I'm playing or not. Like, I know how to do all this. Okay. And it's only getting better as the years go on, to where you can put more information on the screen and have it look like an ESPN broadcast. And people think that's cool, especially if family members of players, when they can't make it to the game or whatever, and they can watch it at home. Or like, yeah, they want to watch. Maybe a lot of these dudes have wives and kids, and they're not bringing their wives and kids to softball, but they can watch it at home, and they do. They can watch they literally are at home watching our games on TV, right? On YouTube. It's on TV though. That's what I can provide to the game of softball, and have been, because that's new shit. People aren't doing that. People aren't broadcasting their games like that. And again, if they are, it's some jank ass Facebook stream. That sucks. I watch so many jank softball streams on Facebook. I can't stand it. And I had a better stream than every single one of them. That's the other reason why they don't like me, is because they all try to do it too, and they don't know how to try to stream. I was like one of the few to start streaming in this area of softball players in the Twin Cities. Like in 2020, 2021, 2022, I was known for it in the softball community. Oh, this is the guy that streams. Oh, and he streams the Mercado Media stuff. I guess my political opinions were just a little too loud. Just a little too loud. And it made him upset. So that's with that. Okay, let's get to the latest in Tennessee. So this was the news a few hours ago. Tennessee Republicans pass a map to break up the state's lone Democratic House seat. So you're not going to have any Democratic seats in Tennessee anymore after further gerrymandering and redistricting as this battle continues. Tennessee Republicans on Thursday passed a new congressional map that would crack Shelby County, home to a majority black Memphis, into 3 districts in an effort to eliminate the state's lone remaining Democratic-held seat. Currently, Tennessee is represented by 8 Republicans and 1 Democrat. The state is the first to pass a new congressional map after the U.S. Supreme Court last week weakened the Voting Rights Act's protections against racial discrimination in redistricting. Tennessee Republican Governor Bill Lee then called a special legislative session targeting the 9th congressional district held by Democrat Steve Cohen. Thursday's legislative vote comes amid protests at the state capitol and after a walkout by Democrats. State Representative Justin Pearson, a Memphis Democrat who had been challenging Cohen in a primary, called the new district maps racist tools of white supremacy. Tennessee GOP lawmakers defended the new map, saying their goal is partisan, to send all Republican delegation to Washington, D.C. Yep. They're not even trying to, they've been saying that. They're going to do it. That's why when anyone cried when the Democrats are doing it, you were an idiot. It is what it is. The Democratic Party, honestly, when Biden was president, tried to prevent this, put up a bill to stop gerrymandering in the United States. And Republicans turn it down. Okay, so this is going to be a back and forth battle in the states. Okay, what do you want me to say, guys? We're already seeing states send their national guards into other states. We already have redistricting battles. You know, that's why, like, if we don't have a radical change in our government away from this, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not, this is all grounds for, you know, this is what's setting up a battle. We'll just put it that way. It's setting up a battle in the country beyond like social media and like social media posts. That's what this is eventually. This is what this is going to lead to when and if this continues. It's because it's going to. Okay. Yep. You live in fear every day that Trump will unleash his wrath upon YouTube truth speakers. Why would you do that? They need YouTube truth speakers too. They need their social media people. As without social media and people on the internet, MAGA would be cooked. MAGA doesn't have shit in real life. Nobody actually goes and does MAGA activism. And MAGA activism, like I said, looks like this. Where is it? Nope. Hold on. Was it that long ago? Maybe it was. There you go. This is MAGA activism. Demonetized, jobless, and spending a lot of gas. Spending a lot of gas money. They don't have people in real life. Unless, like, they need to go raid the Capitol and Donald Trump will tell them to go do it. Oh, he deleted it. Mark Hamill deleted the image of President Trump flying. Okay. I don't know why. Why even capitulate? Who cares? So the midterms in Tennessee will be, we'll probably have to go down there in August to cover that. It's going to be really busy with the midterms. The midterms are going to be a very busy time. So the Supreme Court needs term limits immediately. Yes, they do. Thank you, Adam. But yeah, that redistricting and gerrymandering is going to continue. Yeah, here's some Trump voters.
Trump. Let's take a
look.
listen.
Oh, yeah, we heard that one. He's a piece of shit. Why are you reposting that again?
One more woman who we spoke with.
You've seen this on there.
If you could say something to President Trump and he was going to hear you right now, what would it be?
You are a worthless pile of
And you voted for him how many times?
3 times.
I listen. It's hard for me because like I voted Trump in 2016, 10 years ago. I was 22 years old, freshly out of the military, only had conservative influences, completely just indoctrinated. Didn't even try to look at other sourcing. You know what I mean? Like just full send right wing, not even a little bit left. But like not where we're seeing MAGA now. It was like maybe rooted more in libertarian principles, but still like I was along with the Republican Party. I was along with that. Yeah, I don't. The people that voted for him after 2016, I have less respect for. But maybe you came back from that. Like if you voted for him in 2020, like after his presidency alone, that was embarrassing. But then if you voted for him a third time, bro, like if you voted for Trump 3 times, you'd probably just need to like watch at this point and like don't say much at this point anymore. Like especially at 3 votes, you've definitely been outspoken. If you voted for Trump 3 times, you are definitely outspoken, and you need to not be and like just listen at this point. Fell for it again. Dang. All right. I think that's all I got today. It was a slower news day overall. Not a lot of major developments. Yeah, besides Strait of Hormuz and Tennessee. Trump's attempt to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So good. If you guys want more from me tonight, I'm going to be live in about an hour now on my gaming channel. I don't have an interest in listening to Kamala. I don't. I'm sorry. So I'm not doing that. So, but if you guys want other stuff to do, you can come over to my gaming channel. I already got it scheduled. We're playing a banger, part 2. If you missed it last night, better just subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything. You know, you're missing it. But we got God of War tonight, part 2. Part 2 already went well last night. Loved it. Part 2 we got in 4K gaming. So come and check it out. And that's Mercado Gaming on YouTube. All right, Mercado Gaming on YouTube. It's already scheduled. It starts at 8. So I'll put the link in the chat. I'll redirect you guys into it if you guys want to come check it out and hang out with us. I'd appreciate you. All right, guys, I'll keep you updated. More news to come. I'm in and out. I had an interview this week about Metro Surge and my body recovering from playing outside. So I just don't want to doom on this every day. We have a long way to go. Midterms are coming, but beyond that, 2028 election is still over 2 years away. So I don't want to burn out. And like, so I'm seeing some people like burn out, man. It sucks. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that at all. You're not going to be able to solve it yourself. Right? You gotta be, you have the courage to change the things you can and the wisdom to know the difference. Okay? That's all you can do. You can just change. You can change what you're in control of, but we can't control this administration. You can't do that. All right. Have a good night. Hope to see you over my gaming channel. Mercado Gaming again on YouTube in a little over an hour. I'm going to put it at 8:15 so I can eat and whatnot, but we're getting in there. So come check us out, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Join the Discord server. Link is in the description. If you haven't done so, please do so. Be a part of the community. We're better. We're cooler over here. You don't have to search for other communities. They're usually lame anyways. Ours is better. So come check it out. Appreciate you guys. See you guys in the next one. Take care.